Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. I think it works. Go live. Okay, bitches. Yeah. Welcome, welcome to Facts with Max. Okay, so again, I've said this before. Finally starting to get my audio sorted out. Do I have a ghost in here? Probably. Yeah, so I now have a cable for my microphone instead of this ridiculousness that clearly didn't work. So this sounds better, no disturbance and stuff. And I actually have a very special guest today that I am going to invite in just a second. But just gonna introduce here. And I'm also going to save down. Let's see here. We are going to show some very interesting things today. So guys, prepare yourself because it's going to be crazy. Okay. And if anybody's on here, is the sound okay? Does the sound fine? For anyone that is live on Instagram right now, do remember that Instagram crops the frame. So as soon as I invite my guest, you guys might not see the full screen. So the full screen is shown on all the other platforms, which is X, Kick, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. If you guys go to any of these platforms, you will get the full view. Is the sound okay? I'm still like, again, I'm like the queen when it comes to shooting photography and video. But when it comes to audio, that is something I'm still learning. So I hope it sounds fine. I also made some new sounds. I gotta play them just because it's fucking funny. Okay, listen to this.
This is some bullshit. Fuck you.
Okay, I'm just having fun with it. I literally sat here the other day. You can change your voice on it, and I had an entire conversation with myself. So I'm gonna invite my guest here real quick. Um, wait a second. What the hell? No. Okay, there we go. 1 second. I'm messing around with stuff. Okay, we have the link. So Joel has tried to show me some stuff here with how to flip between stuff and whatnot. So I should be able to more smoothly flip between the different frames and whatnot. So I'm going to send the invite to him here. Hold on. And while we wait for him to come on, I am going to make a drink for myself. German built, how are you? So everybody, do please, if you can, go to the other platforms. Instagram, I can also not see your comments inside the streaming software. From Instagram, it's a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. And the reason I can't add my Instagram to the streaming platform is because I got shut down. So I can no longer shut it. Sorry, shut connect it with my Facebook page, which is kind of annoying. But while I wait for him, I am going to make a drink. We have a new core product, and I'm gonna do a focus on the core. So, what is the core? The screen is like opposite here. Core is the new product, which has a combination between Acemannan and Betalains, which I talk about all the time. These are our magical, most powerful molecules. Inside this, we also have collagen, we have fiber, prebiotic, and some other good stuff that are really good for the gut. So I'm gonna mix this into my cup here. I bought a new fancy cup. I think it's super cute. So I have something to drink. And if you guys saw the promo for today, you might also know that the conversation today is going to be vampires. So the man that is joining me today has been on the inside. and he is ready to show you guys some good stuff. So we have a lot of fun stuff lined up for today. We got videos, photos, books, documents, whatever you guys need. Because when I was talking to him the first time and he was like, I have any proof you need. And I was like, man, you don't have to prove anything to me, but you might need to prove it to the rest of the people because I know this shit is real. I don't need more proof. Let's just say that. But I am all for it. And it's so freaking interesting. And yes, we're going to show a bunch of stuff. So I'm just mixing my drink, seeing if he is joining. Perfect. Okay. So while we wait for him, I'm going to play a little video for you guys. Check this out.
How long am I gonna be able to keep doing my job? It's scary, man. Like your hands start locking up, out of nowhere. I'm like, fuck. After I started taking it, like my hands aren't cramping up. My shoulders are like, what the fuck? Like they're not clacking.
I've been taking allergy medicine for almost 11 years. And now I am 9 days today. I have not choked in my sleep. I have not taken any allergy medicine.
You have what we call COVID asthma, COVID pneumonia, scarring on your lungs from COVID. After taking the Acemannan, I haven't hit an inhaler in like 8 days. I can breathe. It's crazy. So I also haven't been able to smell for 2 years. The other day, I get my sense of smell back, so I can smell again.
I was going to commit suicide. I was drinking and smoking myself to sleep every night, being sorry for myself, saying, poor me, I was supposed to be a national champion. Now I'm never going to be able to be an athlete again. Within 2.5 weeks, I was medically cleared to wrestle after taking the Betalains product, the anti-inflammatory.
Let the praises come.
Okay, guys, my guest is here. And there he is. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, can you hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me well?
Perfect. Yes, I can. Wonderful. Oh, so since you just jumped on, could you see the video I was playing?
I could not see the video, but I heard the sound.
Okay, got it. Yeah, that's something I'm still wondering. I don't know if it's the streaming software that do that, because I've realized with every guest, when I play something like a screen share for the audience, somehow the guest can't see it. So I'm not sure why that is. It might be something they're working on. So I think also when you and me are showing videos later, you might not see what I'm showing, but you can probably hear it. Then you just tell me what you show. And do you have some sort of screen share on your part, on your end there?
Yeah, I see a share screen thing. I can test it out if it works.
Absolutely.
If that's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it said Google Chrome is required, so it's not working on Firefox.
Oh, that's fine. So I saved down all the links that you sent me, and whenever you want me to play a specific one, you just tell me which one and I'll play it. Yeah, I don't know why it does that. I feel like that's maybe so. I should probably contact the streaming software and ask about that, because last time I had 2 or 3 guests at the same time and they couldn't see each other either. They could hear each other but not see each other.
Oh, that's strange.
So you're gonna have
That's
to be
not
fine with
supposed to happen. The links I gave you, I put the titles above it about Vampire Cult, World Economic Forum, Bill Gates, Disney.
Yeah.
You know,
the
big names.
Perfect. Well, I just saged here. I always sage, and I'm doing some incense here. Let's go for that. So, would you like to introduce yourself?
Of course. My name is Joost. I am from the Netherlands. 43 years old now. And I have history in cults, in studying a lot of things, healthcare, the elites, basically everything that's interesting to me. I deep dive, I study, I want to know how the world works, basically. And I do not only study in books, I got a lot of books next to me, but I also love to do the actual field work, to actually experience, because you can read any book in the world, but sometimes experience tells way more than a book does.
I think experience is everything, and I'm all about books too. I love reading books, but I'm very much up and down. Sometimes I read a lot, but then I have a spiritual mama. And she told me once, the information you seek is not to found in books, which is very true, right? I'm not saying people shouldn't read books. It's really good. You can find good knowledge, but the true answers to the world and the universe is not going to be in a book.
You're exactly right. For example, I studied Vedic scriptures of ancient India. You know, all the 10,000 years old books, stuff like that. And what the Vedic scriptures say, and the Bible also says basically, is that when you move from the mind to the heart, you connect to your higher self, the God, the higher self, the universe, whatever you call it. So basically, every answer to everything that's ever created or is not is inside your heart. So
Absolutely.
she is absolutely correct. So yeah, I believe that also. However, what I also believe is that sometimes in life, you get connected to certain material things, to books, to people, to whatever in the material world. And your heart is leading you there eventually.
Absolutely. I'm very big on manifesting myself, and I believe that for many years now I've been doing that, and I believe that how I see manifestations work is I manifest something and the universe gives me something that will take me to what I'm manifesting, which, sometimes could be a book or a person or, whatever it may be. So, absolutely, yes.
Exactly. And I even believe that the events that happen in your life, even the traumatic events, are there for a reason.
Absolutely.
If you have trauma in life and you grow out of it and learn from it, you become stronger than the person you were before the trauma, because you got a few punches in the face and you got up and you're back, and the next time you know how to evade the punches, because you know
Absolutely,
what they
yeah.
look like,
I think
what can
also
cause a trauma.
to truly become the best you can absolutely be, you have to be in the darkness somehow. And I was talking to somebody the other day and I said, a lot of us, like, I consider myself being a person of light, a person that needs to spread light, that is here to make the world better. But I've also been in the darkness, and I think you have to be there to truly be light.
Yeah, and me personally, I love the balance between light and dark. Like the yin yang symbol. In Buddhism, they say, don't go left, don't go right, but walk the middle path, Walk both sides and learn from them. And don't get pulled into one or the other too much, because you need to be balanced eventually. You need to learn from everything. But when it comes to the dark path, there's, like I say, the trauma that you can learn from and certain things, but there's also the dark side when it comes to the elites and cults and stuff like that. And that's the stuff you shouldn't touch.
Yes.
You
So
know?
I was going to say, let's just jump into the juicy stuff right away. So,
Yeah.
would you like to share with people what is it that where have you been, and what is it that you have done that has made you now be on my live stream today?
Yeah, that's a really interesting story. My parents, they got divorced when I was 2 years old. My mother just left with me and my brother, and she didn't tell me where she went. So my father, he didn't know where we were for like 3 months or something like that. And she was in a cult back then. So, going back to my childhood, we were always connected with cults, light side, some dark side stuff. We were always connected to, health, plant medicine, stuff like that. So I lived a really fascinating childhood, not a normal one, if you know what I mean. And when I got into age 14, puberty and stuff like that, you just want to rebel against your mother, right? Against your parents again.
Oh, yes, I've been there too.
And I lived at my mother's place. And back in those days, we didn't have the internet. Well, we had the internet, but not the way it is right now. And for school, you had to work on projects, right? And you had to get information. So to get information, you had to go to a library. And in the library, we had a really fascinating book. It's this one. The Encyclopedia of Occultism and Parapsychology. And this book, it contains 2 parts of 1,000 pages each, and it covers everything of the occult. Alistair Crowley, vampirism, werewolves, whatever, everything. It even has the addresses of certain cults. It has basically all the information, names of demons, names of everything. So yeah, I was really fascinated by it. I was pulled by it even because the dark side. It's fascinating. It's interesting. It's it can be exciting. Something that's forbidden.
Oh, absolutely. I just think, when I was young, I loved watching all of these scary movies and such. And I'm old enough to have had to go to the store and rent movies. And I remember we would do everything in our power to go in there underage and rent these movies that you're not supposed to do. So, and watching all of this, and I was always very curious. I'm not going to say back then that I necessarily believed in everything, but I did not believe in it either. And I've always been very curious. As I grew up in a country where people are atheists, we don't really believe in God or anything like that. But I've always just been very curious and seek answers. And that's where I've come to where I am today. I've always looked for something that proved something to me. So if you came to me and you said, hey, vampires are real, and I'd be like, could it be? And I was like, let me dig into this. So that way when you and me were talking and you said, I have all this proof for you, and I said, man, I don't need any proof, but the people that are watching might. Like, I don't need any proof. I'm all in.
Yeah, exactly. I know exactly what you mean. When I read or hear something, I want to either investigate or experience it myself. For example, I read something about Kembo. I don't know if you know it. What they do in the jungle, they burn holes in your skin and they put poison from a frog on it, and you heavily detox. Well, I read about it. I saw some YouTube videos about it, and I just went in. I went to do it, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
But you don't know how amazing it is.
What was your reason for doing it? What were you looking for when you went there?
Well, normally people do that to do either a detox or throw out certain trauma or whatever. For me, the biggest reason, and I told that to the shaman also, I said, for me, it's the experience mostly. And a small part of overcoming a little bit of fear I got left in my body. Because I used to be really, really scared as a kid. A lot of fear, a lot of anger, a lot of, negative emotion. But I got over that. But I just wanted to beat the last part of it. You always got something left in you.
Yeah.
And when it comes to emotion, I only believe in 2 emotions: love and fear.
Yeah. You say
you know the movie
fear,
Star?
not hate?
No, it's fear, because you know the movie Star Wars, where Yoda is saying, fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. Um, everything comes from fear. You either react out of love or out of fear. You know, you are afraid to lose someone you love.
Yeah.
And then, thanks to the fear and thanks to losing her, you gain anger and you gain hate and you gain whatever. But it's always the fear that comes first. And then come the other emotions, like suffering and loss and anger. So yeah, I just wanted to beat the last part of fear. I mean, fear is natural. We need it to survive. But I wanted to beat the last fear that I don't need in the Cambo session, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it was amazing, an amazing experience. And yeah, you are in a group with 6 people and they are all doing the same thing, but all for a different reason. And it's like you're one big spiritual family at that moment, because you're preparing together, doing breathing exercises, stuff like that. And then comes the Cambo, and then you got a big struggle, a big fight.
So how long ago was this? How old were you when you did this?
The Cambo, it was 3 months ago, and that was when a lot of stuff was happening. For example, I never went public with all the stuff I know, and thanks to the Cambo stuff, I met Rob from Disorganized Productions, who does a podcast.
Yeah.
And I talked about my cult past, and he was like, "Hey, hop onto my podcast." And that was the first time I actually went public with all the stuff I knew. Before the 3 months, I stored everything in my brain, and I just kept it there, you know?
Well, I think it's time. People are ready to hear things. Even if certain things might be hard to grasp for people. I did this, I was talking to an exorcist last week, and we were playing some demon interviews. And it actually got pretty good response. It did get shut down from certain platforms, but I don't really care. As long as on Rumble and X, they don't take down anything, so it stays up there. And I'm at the point where I've gotten shut down so many times that people know that what I'm sharing is probably worth listening to. So.
Yeah, exactly. And thanks to him and thanks to other people I keep meeting the past 3 months, I decided it's not good to keep all the information just in your brain and then eventually die and information will be lost. I do believe that information should always be free for everybody, in every way possible. So yeah, I'm just sharing my stuff, sharing everything I know, and even working on a book which I sent you, an early translation.
Yeah, I will definitely once your book is ready and everything, just let me know and I will share with everybody as well.
Yeah, I also decided the book will be entirely free. I'm gonna post it on my website and just a download link. Not even, most websites where something is free, you have to sign up and you have to go through a lot of different steps. But
I think it
I'm
depends,
gonna.
what your purpose is with it. So I'm the same. I like to share free information, but I do, if somebody wants my free books, they do need to subscribe. And the reason is because social media shuts me down all the time, and then I lose everybody, and they don't necessarily want to be lost either. So I get them in, and then I have them come to my private community, because I also don't want people to, because obviously I help people with health and such, and I don't want people to think that they come on and ask me questions and I answer and then I'm gone. They're like, "Oh, is she a scam?" I'm like, "No, make sure you come to my private community, because that way you can always get a hold of me. Even if they shut me down, I don't look like I try to trick people and just get lost, So for me, I have, yes, you want my book, do subscribe and come to my community, but it's more like so we actually stay in touch. So it's not like any purchase requirements or anything of the sort.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just gonna publish it for free, because I think information should always be publicly available in every way.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's just, tell me the story of how did you get into this cult, and did you even know that that's what it was when you first got
Yes,
in
yes, I
there?
knew
Or like how did it all
exactly
happen?
what I was getting into. So I'm gonna show a few books to tell the
Mm-hmm.
story.
Mm-hmm.
Like first of all, I had the one I showed you, the Encyclopedia of Parapsychology.
Mm-hmm.
I got this in digital form in PDF. I can send it to you if you want to have it.
Yeah, I would also like, if you want to, if there are any of these books that you think that people should be reading, I'll be happy to put the link in the caption on this video later. If people should go and find them or download or something. So whatever information you think people need to look at, just send it to me after and I'll put it in the caption of the video.
I will. I will send everything.
Mm-hmm.
I even got the Bibles from the cults I was in,
Mm-hmm.
the links. So yeah, I will share everything. So yeah, from the same writer, it's J. Gordon Melton. He also written this book. He did a
Mm-hmm.
big study on everything that has to do with vampires, from from myths, from movies. Even Marilyn Manson is mentioned here on the back cover of the book.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, from movies, myths. You have Dracula. You have the movie version of Dracula from Bram Stoker,
Mm-hmm.
but you also have Dracula from Hungary. I thought he was Hungary, Romania, some Eastern
Yeah,
Europe,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
and that was real Dracula. You
Mm-hmm.
know, the Dracul, the dragon family. And another fun fact: when you look at vampire cults, they all do rituals for the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
They always summon the dragon, and when you look at Dracula, his name is literally Dragon, Dracul. So that's also
Oh,
really
you know what?
interesting.
I did not know that actually. That makes sense.
Their family name means the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I got into that book, and eventually I got into another really interesting book written by a parapsychologist, and it's
Mm-hmm.
about psychic vampires, vampires that can drain energy from a distance.
Oh.
Um, stuff like Tai Chi and Aikido and yoga.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In yoga, they call the energy prana. In Tai Chi, they call it chi. And in Japan, they call it ki, Aikido. It's the way of working with energy.
Mm-hmm.
And psychic vampires, they basically steal that energy from living things, from other people, from plants, from whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically, it's a real thing. And the most interesting thing about this book um, is that this professor, he had to study it for the U.S. Army missile research. Think of that. U.S. Army missile research. So basically, creating weapons. They wanted a professor who knew everything about psychic vampires to do more research into it. I don't know if you know the CIA projects like MK Ultra, where they try
Yes.
to use drugs and other stuff to
Mm-hmm.
hypnotize people.
Absolutely, yes.
There is another project that the CIA did, and it's called Project Stargate, and that's the
Mm-hmm.
project where they are walking the spiritual and the parapsychology stuff and the supernatural stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They literally paid people like this guy to study vampires.
Oh
It's
yeah. I mean, I said the military does, or the army and the government, they do a lot of things that people might think is kind of whack or weird. And I mean, I'm personally getting into some of these things that I've been doing the gateway experience for a very, very long time. And if anyone doesn't know what that is the method they use in the army to teach them astral projection, basically. And I mean, they do all of these things. All of these supernatural things are being used by the government and the military and everything. So why wouldn't we?
Yeah,
You know, why wouldn't we use it when they do?
exactly. And as for projection, it's not good or bad.
Hmm.
It's with everything. I mean,
Yeah.
energy works
Hmm.
like using prana energy, chi energy, whatever you want to call it.
Hmm.
You can use it for the good or the bad. You can use
Absolutely.
it in a vampiric way, or you can use it in a healing way, or a giving way, or
Hmm. Yeah,
whatever.
I've been very much into energy healing, and I used to do it on myself for the longest time, and I didn't even know that I could do it to other people. So I would do it when I had a lot of injuries. I've been injured everywhere in my entire body. I have fake things everywhere. And I remember there was a friend of mine who told me one day there was a girl that needed some help and asked him to heal her. And he just looked at me and he said, "No, Maaxx is going to do it." And I was like, "What? No, but I mean, I don't know how to do that." He's like, "Yes, you do. You do it on yourself. Now do it on her." So I did, and it worked. And I think that, I guess, the powers is always inside of us, but then it's also one part of it is for you to believe that you can actually do it, because our minds are strong, our minds are powerful, and the first step for people to even start getting into this kind of stuff is to just freaking believe in yourself. You can do it. And it's really freaking cool. And when you do it to people and they almost look at you like, "What did you do? I feel so good. Like, what did you do?"
Yeah, it's
Imagine
all
if
about
people knew this and could walk around and help each other that way.
actually going into it to actually experience all the
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And you can read so many books, but if you don't, for example, about Tai Chi, it's all
Uh-huh.
about energy. And most people think Tai Chi is like some sort of crazy dance, but it's actually martial arts. If you
Yeah.
do all the
Mm-hmm.
Tai Chi movements
Mm-hmm.
really fast, you are literally breaking someone's arm. You're literally defending yourself or attacking someone.
Yeah.
But because it's so slow, it looks like a dance, but it
Mm-hmm.
is a martial arts.
I mean, there's a reason
And
I actually live inside an MMA gym right now. I'm a world champion bodybuilder and had a complete change of heart. And here I am living inside an MMA gym training MMA. And, people ask, "Oh my God, that's so cool. You're going to fight." And I said, "Here's the thing, I don't really care if I have a fight. Yeah, I want to do it. It's super fun. But this is my next step in my spiritual and my meditation journey. That is why I'm here, because it is a meditation. It is moving energy. It is like perfecting your breathing, all of these things. That is what martial arts is."
yeah, and martial arts is the most heavy sport you can do. I, not the Tai Chi, unless you do
Mm-hmm.
the harder form, but
Mm-hmm.
I had some boxing training as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, doing, lifting weights, it's heavy, but doing a boxing training
Mm-hmm.
is the most heaviest kind of sport I ever did. You sweat all over.
Absolutely. I have a
It's
question.
cardio.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's cardio. It's strength. It's pushing your limits. It's
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
I had
Yeah.
a question from a guy for you. He said, "Is there a particular religion associated with vampirism?"
That's when I think of religion, not per se, because when you think of vampires, they are known in every kind of culture.
Mm-hmm.
In ancient Romania, they call them the strigoi. And the strigoi are kind of like spirits that drain energy from you. They
Mm-hmm.
are not even in the physical world, they are in the astral world. When you look at the Islam, you have the jinn, the genie from the bottle. But in Islam, the jinn, they will trick you and they will seduce you and they will steal your energy.
Mm-hmm.
You have the incubus, succubus kind of vampires. I think those are from Christianity mostly, but also
Mm-hmm.
from other parts of the world. So basically, every culture even cultures that never met each other have vampires in their myths and legends and whatsoever. So I don't think there's a certain religion connected to it. However, when I go back to the cults and I get the books of them, I'm gonna show later. They are two different cults. Most cults these days, even Anton LaVey, the Satanism, are all connected to basically one person that lived during World War One and World War Two, and that's Aleister Crowley. I don't know if you know the guy.
It sounds familiar.
But basically, Aleister Crowley lived in the UK and a really fascinating person. He wanted to study everything that had to do with the occult, with spirituality, and both the light and the dark sides. And he was part of some elitist cult, the Golden Dawn, I think it was called. And he wanted to become the biggest, most badass magician in the world. So he did summon demons. He did everything you could do to attain that. And he formed a cult, and every other cult, like Anton LaVey, even Scientology. Scientology is invented by a student from him.
Yeah.
A student that was in his cult. Another crazy fact about Aleister Crowley is that he was also a spy for the government. Kind of like a CIA kind of person. He claims that he knew Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
Because Jack the Ripper lived in the same time as he did. And he said he knew Jack the Ripper, and Jack the Ripper also was an occult person. He was doing cult stuff.
It wouldn't surprise me. Like when you really think about it and what people like Jack the Ripper did, I mean, it kind of makes sense, right?
Sacrifice.
Yeah.
Human sacrifice, simply. So yeah, when you
had so somebody said here, I did a live the other week about we had an interview with a demon, and we were talking about the 13 families on that interview, where they're basically doing an exorcism and they're talking about the 13 families. So this guy here is asking, what about the 13 families? And I guess it all kind of goes hand in hand, because I'm talking a lot about the children that disappear and what they do to them. And I would guess because the person that we had that we were playing on the live last week is saying that these underground reptilians, there are the 13 families, right? And I would assume that when it comes to vampires, because what they're doing is they're taking the children, right? And as far as I know, they're not only extracting their energy, but also potentially eating them, right? So do you have anything to say about that and the 13 families?
Well, if you give me 1 second, I'm gonna pick another book.
Yeah. Hey, we have all
One
the time in
second.
the world. I am happy to be up all night with this. So yeah, we were playing this demon interview last week, and it all goes together, and it's so super interesting. I actually got some new video today from a friend about reptilians, and I mean, like, when you really think about it, it's like all of these things go together. And I was talking to a friend the other day about reptilians, and I said, well, I'm a reptilian. And he's like, what? I was like, you are too. Like, we all are to an extent. Then there's different kinds and more or less. But, when you really dig down and do your research on everything, we're all connected.
True. My girlfriend, she's a psychologist. And in psychology, you even have subjects like the monkey brain and the reptile brain in psychological ways. So yeah, we do have a reptilian brain, but not 100%. It's partly
Yes.
reptilian what we got.
Mhm.
But the book, they also have it in English, and it's Tetralogy, the
Mhm.
13 Satanic Bloodlines.
Mhm.
And this is a book about the 13 families, about the governments.
Ooh,
Basically,
okay. I want to read that one actually.
yeah, I gonna
Yeah.
send you every book
Mhm.
I gonna show you in digital forms.
Have you always lived? Have you ever lived in the United States, or have you been over here, or have
Never
everything
been
you've been
there.
through has been over there?
Yeah, I'm from the Netherlands, but
Mhm.
I met people from the United States
Mhm.
when I was in the cult.
Yeah, I
I
was
even
going to
met.
say, because where would you meet? I assume you know that there's probably people all over the world, right?
Yeah. The cult has people all over the world, but they were doing a European tour. They were trying to um, build temples or whatever you want to call it in the
Mhm.
Netherlands.
Mhm.
Their leader even asked me to become the leader of the Netherlands eventually,
Oh.
of the cult. He
Mhm.
wanted me to, you know how cults work? They bring in people, and then if you bring in people, you get a higher rank. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, definitely.
every
Mhm.
cult. It's politics. It's
Yeah.
a lot of bullshit in it. They want you to. It's like a pyramid. If you want to go to the top, you gotta
Mhm.
pull in people. You gotta. It's in the end,
I
it's
mean, everything
all
is a business, you know.
everything, even cults, even religion, even
Mhm.
whatever. So yeah, back to how I got in the cult.
Mhm.
I gave you a link from the
Yes, you want me to
vampire
play something? Okay.
cult. It's the second link, the Father Sebastian life journal
Father
thing.
Sebastian, you got it. Okay, let me pull this up. Do you want me to play it first and then we talk about it?
Yes, it's just some text.
Oh,
It's
it's just some
uh
text. Okay,
it's a
let's see
it's
here.
a
Okay,
website.
so while you're talking, I am going to screen share it. I know that you can't necessarily see it, but now I am screen sharing, so it's up on the screen for people now.
Yeah, it's a life journal, and if
Mm-hmm.
you look into it, it was in 2004, and I was 2004 to 2003 in Amsterdam.
Mm-hmm.
And if you scroll down to the, you have it up. I have to think out of my mind what it's like. But if you
Oh, I
look at the
can read. Do
sixth,
you need me to read it out? Read something up for you?
yeah, the sixth circle about the BDSM and carnal pleasure kind of thing.
Let me see. The dungeon.
The dungeon, yeah.
Sixth dimension, the dungeon, brings you deeper into the debaucheries and wonders of the flesh with dungeon and fetish play equipment provided by Nico of the third floor, Amsterdam's premier BDSM play party. Master Lean and Valeria Alexander will govern the chamber with an iron fist without a velvet glove.
And I was at that event.
Mm-hmm.
Let me explain what a cult event and ritual
Mm-hmm.
is like.
Yes.
Um, you know the movie Eyes Wide Shut with Tom Cruise?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Also, another funny thing, Tom Cruise is part of Scientology, which is part of Aleister Crowley.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, dark, deep satanic cults. Anyways, back to the cult I was in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the event was kind of like Eyes Wide Shut. You come into a room, you have a ball, a vampire ball, a party, a disco, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go downstairs in the basement, there is a wild orgy happening.
Mm-hmm.
And there are people from every layer of society.
Mm-hmm.
You got a grocery store worker right next to someone from Hollywood having sex
Yeah.
together, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Um,
I
there
haven't
were,
actually been to these myself, but I have for sure heard about it from people that have been.
and I am sure in your field you got invites to parties
Hmm.
that you felt like, no, not going there, right?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. If to be honest, I don't even know. Oh God, wait, what did it do now? Hold on one second. It's Oh, no? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm flipping between the freaking screens. Here we go. I'm still learning. I like there's so many functions on this live stream. I've I've been about 12 years ago, I stopped partying. I stopped going to partying. I stopped going to events. So I'm not even sure. I probably have. I'm actually going to an event this weekend. So maybe I can get back about that one. But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I have been and probably just not attended.
But yeah, those parties, lately in the news, the Diddy parties, Puff
Hmm.
Daddy, Diddy, whatever he calls himself, the Epstein parties, it's
Yeah.
it's 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 fucking everywhere.
Yep.
Sorry for my language,
No,
but
please say
yeah,
whatever you want on here. We have no restrictions.
but like I said, you go to such an event, you meet people from Hollywood. I met some actors who were in the Matrix movie.
Hmm.
I'm gonna show you the face of one of the people in it in a moment.
Hmm.
Um, it was wild. It was really, really crazy,
Yeah.
being at such an event. But in the end, there's always the politics.
Yeah.
They come up to you. Do you want to be the leader of the Netherlands? Do you want to
Hmm.
pull in people? Stuff like that. Every cult is about control. It's about crazy sexual stuff. When it comes to an actual ritual,
Hmm.
in Satanism, Alistair Crowley, vampirism, rituals are always the same. You
Oh
have
yeah, somebody
a
actually just wrote that on here. I'll pull up their comment while you're talking about it. Hmm.
you have a table or an altar or whatever you want to call it.
Hmm.
There's always a naked person on there.
Hmm.
Most of the times a naked woman, fully
Hmm.
naked. Sometimes there's a couple on there actually having sex.
Hmm.
On the altar, there's always in vampirism an obsidian mirror.
Hmm.
This is real obsidian. It's
Hmm.
glass from a volcano that's totally black.
Hmm.
In ancient times, they used it for scrying to actually talk to demons and whatever.
Yeah. Hmm.
So yeah, they put a mirror there to connect to the astral world. They have a dagger on there. They
Hmm.
don't always use the dagger to make cuts or drain blood or whatever,
Hmm.
but they use it symbolically.
Yeah.
Uh, a lot of times they have certain gems on it, like I got a moonstone. This one
Mm.
looks
Hmm.
actually like an eye.
Hmm.
Dragon blood
Hmm.
stone, also amazing. They got all sorts of equipment, right?
Hmm.
A naked woman and a lot of people around it in robes,
Is
dark
it always
robe.
a woman or could it be a man?
It could be a man as well,
Hmm.
but the main goal is to gain sexual energy from your base
Hmm.
chakra.
Yes.
They want you to gather energy, summon a demon or
Hmm.
whatever, and then use that sexual energy to point it towards a certain goal. And a goal can be I
Yeah.
want to be famous, I want to be
Hmm.
rich, or I want to destroy someone.
Hmm.
Um, I only attended one ritual in my life, and it
Hmm.
was a girl. She had an ex-boyfriend who was really abusive,
Hmm.
and she wanted to totally destroy that guy,
Uh-huh.
but she could not do it in a physical way, right?
Hmm.
Because with law and whatever. So we did a ritual, and eventually that guy got into a really dark time of his life. He got into
Hmm.
deep depression, wanted to kill himself,
Yep.
blah blah blah. So we did the ritual, and he got in that situation. I can't prove that the ritual put him there, but he got there, right?
Like I said, people believe whatever they want, but these things are. I mean, it's almost the same as when you manifest something. Or I have actually a friend of mine that somehow a lot of people have been doing her wrong, so to speak. So, and all of these people that were doing her wrong, something really bad happened to all of them. And she said to me one day, what if it's my fault? I was like, what, are you wishing this harm on them? She's like, no, but, and I said, you know what, I think that if you are a very high energy light person, like if people do harm to you, it's going to come back to them. Like, call it whatever you want, karma, whatever. Yes, 100% it will somehow. And then why wouldn't a ritual just be, it's all the same, it's all energy.
Yeah, and the guy we did the ritual on,
Mm-hmm.
he had it coming, right?
Uh-huh.
He was abusive. He had it coming. Whatever he got,
Mm-hmm.
he kind of deserved it. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if his way of living caused it or the ritual. But
Yeah.
it is strange that right after the ritual, shit started to happen.
Yeah.
So personally, I'm kind of in a debate about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It works or it doesn't work. But
Mm-hmm.
the fact that the elite are doing rituals at Bohemian Grove, at the cult events, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
they are all doing rituals.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of them. I mean, Epstein Island, that's also one big ritual thing.
Yeah.
When you go to a Taylor Swift concert or other famous artists these days, it's
Mm-hmm.
like one big satanic ritual.
Absolutely.
You remember the band Take That, the boy band in
Oh
the
yeah, yeah,
early
yeah.
90s
Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
with Robbie Williams?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Teenage girls, they were addicted to that band.
Yeah.
You know, they were
Mm-hmm.
like,
I mean, a lot of boy bands, I would say. You know what? I had, when I was 15, I liked Backstreet Boys, and I went to one show. I went there and I somehow got in, so I was standing like right in the front, kind of, and people started screaming and pushing behind me, and I just looked at it and I was thinking, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I left. I didn't even watch the
people
show.
going crazy, right?
Yeah,
But
I just
I
don't understand that.
I got a really amazing memory. I remember stuff from age 2 till now in detail.
Mm-hmm.
And what I remember what was happening with Take That, Take That, they were breaking apart. They were stopping the band, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the moment they stopped, a lot of teenage girls who were addicted to that band, who were worshipping them,
Mm-hmm.
committed suicide
Oh yeah.
because the band was falling apart.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So basically, that sounds like ritual, right? They pull in teenage girls and then break up and bam, suicide.
Mm-hmm.
It's yeah. The world is
It's also
crazy. The
interesting
world.
how easily manipulated a lot of people are. And I said, fast forward, I'm getting close to 40. But now when I look back at my whole life, I realize, why, and you don't know all the details about me, but why I do everything I do. And now when I start looking back at music I used to listen to when I was a kid, and like dreams I used to have, everything has led me to where I am right now. And none of that bullshit ever worked on me. I never fell for any of that shit, which obviously, I'm protected somehow to get to the point where I am right now, where I can truly actually help save people.
Yeah, the fun thing about me, I love music, I love movies, I love
Mm-hmm.
video games whatsoever. Um, but when I love something, I love the art, not the person behind the art. So when I meet someone who is famous or has a certain type of fame, I never fall for that. Um, if I meet a famous person and I get into a conversation, I don't want to know the person in the way he or she got famous with.
No.
I want to know the person, him or herself, if I meet a famous person,
Yeah.
because I want to know the real person, and I don't want to
Yeah.
know the illusion. being famous, it's an illusion. Power, it's an illusion.
Absolutely.
Fame and power, it's all illusion, and it's like a house of cards. It can fall down instantly.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Diddy. His house of cards, he went from famous to infamous right now. He's done.
Yeah.
It's over for him. So yeah, when I meet a person, famous or not, I want to know the person, not all the bullshit and fireworks around the person,
No.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I agree. I'm the same. I actually still to this day, my favorite bands in the world, I don't even know what they look like.
Yeah,
Because it's not
exactly.
relevant. I just love the sound they've created.
Exactly, and sometimes you meet a famous person behind, an actor or a singer or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a total asshole.
Mm-hmm.
But other times you meet someone who makes music that, in your opinion, is total shit,
Mm-hmm.
but the person itself is amazing, really friendly, kind, So I don't go for worshipping people. I don't go for worshipping art, but I do go for enjoying art,
Yes.
movies,
Mm-hmm.
music, etc. So yeah, back to the cult stuff.
Yeah. So
I got
so the ball you
this
said
little thing.
you were at this ball.
Yeah, I
In
was at this
Europe.
ball and I was meeting Father Sebastian, meeting people that were in the Matrix movie.
Mm-hmm.
The Matrix movie, it was like 2003, 2004, so the Matrix movie was still kind of new, big,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I met people that were in the movie, that were working the movie, and even in the movie there is a scene that is actually the ritual,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm gonna show in a bit, or you're gonna show.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I became a member. Members, they got this little symbol.
Mm-hmm.
It's an ankh. Stands for eternal life. And we also got a Bible.
Mm-hmm.
There's a red bloody V on it with the devil still.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's occult to start with. And at the first page you also got the symbol, but the most fun thing is about this book, there's only, I don't know if you can read it, 2,000 copies.
Yep. You can see it.
Which means there are only 2,000
Mm-hmm.
of these. So I was in the cult really early.
So
I was
does
one
that
of the
mean
first.
that to first 2,000 people have eternal life, and if somebody comes in, can more people come in?
Yeah, they still pull in people, of course, but the people that got this book, they are the first 2,000 European members.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were only in America back then, and they wanted to expand worldwide, like every cult does. So yeah, in the cult are typical kind of people. One of the people is this amazing looking guy, and he plays a part in the Matrix movie.
Oh yeah, I recognize him.
And do you see his mouth, how wide it is?
Yes.
That's scarification. He basically surgically let his mouth be split open. He's kind of he's a dark person. He likes to do.
So what's the purpose of doing that to the mouth? Does it mean something specific?
Well, for him, it's all about extreme body modification. It's the pain you go through, because when you get in pain, you get adrenaline in your body, right? And you get high of the adrenaline. So they do it to get a certain high. you know, adrenochrome that a lot of
Yes.
celebrities use.
Mm-hmm.
That's also pure adrenaline. They use it to get high, to feel good.
Yeah, we were actually talking about it on the previous week on the interview about the adrenaline and what they do with it. So yeah, it's all
But
connected.
if you if you do extreme body modification or suspension that he does, they put flash hooks in your your back and they suspend you in the air.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So you
Yeah. They actually
literally
have
have
a
hooks.
lot of. I used to live in Las Vegas for a while, and I did get invited to one of these parties. And yes, so now I'm remembering. I forgot before. I got invited to it, and the whole highlight of the whole party is this one person that is hanging up in the ceiling, like that, and basically just hang there during the entire party. And I know
With
that
hooks
it's what.
in his flesh.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
And trust
That's
me,
like.
that's ritual. So first you say, I haven't been at such parties. Yeah, you've been there.
No, I went. I never went there, but my friend told me, he's like, yeah. So the whole highlight of this party is this one woman, blah 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 blah. And I was like, oh my god, I kind of want to see this, you know. But then I don't know what happened, and I didn't go. It was a Halloween party, and when I was young, I used to like Halloween. That used to be my favorite holiday, but I don't celebrate such a thing anymore because I don't. It doesn't. I just no. It just doesn't fit me anymore.
So yeah, there's the guy I just showed you.
Mhm.
That's he's kind of extreme. He also does a lot of psychedelics because he always wants to connect to the actual world, to whatever he's summoning.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, there are pictures of more members in only this version of the books. He has more books, and as you can see, the women are always naked.
Yes.
But look at the necklace she's wearing. It's the exact same.
The same as you have. Mm-hmm.
Same as I got. So she's one of the 2,000 people that have this version of the necklace.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's this Bible. It's a lot on vampirism, magic, whatsoever.
So let me ask that. So the man from the Matrix that you showed, how old
Yes.
is this man?
I think he should be in his 50s right now.
Is like, does he actually have normal human years? That's what I'm.
Yeah. He looks normal, but well, normal. He modified his body.
Yeah.
He got the scarification and but yeah, he looks human.
So are these people expected to get very old? Because I guess that's one of the whole points with everything they do, right? That they want to live very long or forever or something.
Well, in this certain cult, maybe, but the other cult I'm gonna talk about later, which is the Temple of the Vampire, they are into immortality. Which I'm gonna show later. So we get to that.
Did you have a clip from the movie where we can see him from Matrix? Oh no, Matrix.
Yes, the Matrix scene, and if it opens, you first see a ritual. You actually see an orgy, BDSM orgy.
Do you want me to play it?
It starts with that.
Should I play it while you talk?
Yeah, you can play it.
Hold on. Let me do so. 1 second. I'm gonna get very quick at all this.
And it's from the Matrix. And the first part is actual original. It, right? It's literal. It's all sex and BDSM. And you have to shoot the plane at 1.4.
I don't believe this. The prodigal child returns, l'ange sans ses ailes. Are you here for the bounty, Seraph? Tell me, how many bullets are there in those guns? I don't know, but I don't think you have enough.
We only want to talk.
Oh, yes. I'm sure you do. You have fought through hell to do so. Yes? I'll tell you what I will do. Put down the guns and I will promise you a safe passage out of here.
All three of us.
Oh, yes, yes. Of course.
So are you saying that them spinning around in the beginning, is that kind of like a ritual?
And did you notice the guy at 1.40?
Quelle bonne surprise, n'est-ce pas? Who could have guessed we would all be seeing each other so soon after our last meeting? The fates are too kind.
You know why we are here. We want to make a deal.
Oh, straight to business, hein, Morpheus?
So you're saying like when they come in and walk around like that, is that, or like what is this ritual for when they do this?
Well, the ritual was at the beginning, the whole sex part. You know, it was like an orgy. And at 1.40 minutes, you see the guy to the left. The guy from the book, this one.
Oh, what do you say? At 1:40? Let me pull that up.
Yeah, at 1:40, just look to the left and you see this guy who calls
is
himself...
the guy with like braids?
Yes, yes.
Okay, there we go. Oh, hold on, let me share the screen with people. There we go. Okay,
You remember the mouth, right? With the big Joker smile?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there we got him.
And that's the exact same guy from the book.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to the ritual, what I was saying is that everybody you see in the first 10 seconds that are having an orgy are all members of that cult. So basically, people filming The Matrix, every actor that was in The Matrix, was having a connection with this cult, one way or another. I mean, you see the people, right, from the book in the scene.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's also they hide it in plain sight, everything.
I think it's like I said, obviously if you don't know, you might not look for it, but these days, but for the last years actually, whenever there has been a new movie coming out, I mean, you can't watch anything anymore. You turn it on and you're like, oh, here we go. I feel like it's with everything now.
Yeah, scene after scene after scene after scene.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like the new, my friend King Bao did a whole video about the Obama movie. They have the satanic symbols and stuff. Literally in the first scene. I said, you just started and you're like, oh, okay, here we go.
Yes, exactly. I gave you some other links as well. I gave you the Internet Movie Database link from the leader of the cult, Father Sebastian.
Leader of the cult, the IMDb link?
Yes. You can share that as well. And then you can even see, he's well connected in Hollywood, by the way, like every cult is. I mean, Scientology is connected with Tom Cruise and other actors. But these people are also well connected in Hollywood. And you can even see pictures with him with Game of Thrones actors and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
As you can see, when you look at his pictures, you see that guy from the Lannister guy from Game of Thrones. So yeah, they are very well connected, if you ask me. So that's also something interesting to know, that it's all one big, they call it Holly Weird, right? Because a lot of weird stuff is happening there.
Yeah. I have a watcher right now that said a message for Maaxx. I'm not particularly interested in knowing this stuff. However, I am deeply concerned with the future of America and other countries. This person has been on since we started. Thank you for being here. And whether people are interested or not, I think it's important to still understand this and be a little bit aware when you're out and about and not be so easily manipulated by things. And it doesn't mean people need to go down the rabbit holes, but just be aware that you're sitting on social media or you're going out and about or you're going to the movies, that they're trying to do things. So just knowing about it at least can help people protect themselves.
Yeah, and The Matrix was a big movie for people. It was about waking up. But while it is a waking up movie, there is still cults connected to it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
They want to wake you up, but they also want to do rituals whatsoever.
Do you believe, so somebody told me one day that one reason, and I said, I don't know if this is true or not, but one reason to these people putting it out so publicly is that it's somehow, if they put it out for people to see it, they're kind of like releasing it. And it does, like, they've kind of done their part. Here, I gave you the information. Okay, I'm not that bad now. What do you think about that? It was just a comment I got from somebody.
Well, I think there are certain people that are connected to cults and politics and whatever to expose stuff. I mean, even in politics, there are certain politicians who are there only to expose things to the masses. So there are good people in Hollywood, there are good people in politics. There are good people in the darkest of places. There are always the good people. But what I think is...
Have you read the book, The History of Banking and the Enslavement of Mankind?
I haven't read it, but
Yeah, he's talking about a lot of things being connected, the Federal Reserve. So that's actually something that I'm digging down the rabbit hole on right now, the Federal Reserve and the whole banking system and everything. And that is something I will be speaking about very, very soon. But I'm still going down the rabbit holes, and I don't like to share things until I have gone all the way down. So that's like my next part to everything I do, is the whole financial system and everything.
Yeah, what I'm gonna share after the first cult, the cult with Father Sebastian, is called Strigoi V. Living vampire. Strigoi means vampire, V means living. The other cult, this one, is connected because I always connect the dots, right? I read about something, then I find it in another on another website or another situation whatsoever. The things these guys are doing is connected to the World Economic Forum, even. You know, the annual event that's happening for every politician, every banker, every big corporation, and even people like Leonardo DiCaprio go there every year. You know, Leonardo DiCaprio, he's of the dark side, trust me.
Oh, yes.
The whole climate change bullshit, it's just to manipulate people. That's I don't like that dude. You know, I like the movies he's in, I like the way he acts, but I don't like the person behind.
Yes.
Leonardo
well, again, they're
DiCaprio.
actors, so they can be anything, right? They can be
Yeah,
anything.
exactly.
And it doesn't really, and to be completely honest, I mean, if somebody is a professional actor, how do we actually know who they are? They are literally experts at not being themselves.
Exactly. Talking about actors and going back to the Matrix movie, do you notice how many people worship Keanu Reeves? Like he's such a nice guy, and when he's in a metro station, he stands up for an older woman whatsoever. Did you notice that every time he does an act of kindness, that there is always cameras around it, even when he's doing it in private.
Yeah.
You know what where I'm getting at, right? So every act of kindness he ever did in his entire life, there were cameras around it.
Yep.
And I've seen some footage from someone who had Keanu Reeves on his phone, and who wanted an autograph from Keanu Reeves, and Keanu Reeves was really aggressive and angry at him for asking for a signature. You know what I'm. Well, so when the cameras are not around, he's not that nice person anymore. So that's.
I mean, everything is everything is an act.
Everything is an act. It's
I
all
always
about
find it interesting in general when people catch things on camera. So if somebody doesn't know, my friend Joel got hit by a van the other day and literally did like a matrix flight over the van's roof and landed on his feet. And we don't have the video of that. But then people all over, like celebrities and whatnot, always have footage of things. How is that?
Yeah, it's always coming in the right time when they are going down in numbers, right? In fans. Bam, they're there. Look at the Foo Fighters and Dave Grohl. Now that we all know he's not the loyal husband, that he has a child from another woman, right? So he also is falling down from the godlike, kind-like person. I mean, he's not entirely bad. I mean, I don't know him as a person, but he was always the loyal husband, the loyal whatsoever, and that part has fallen down also. I mean, it's like all the illusions all these celebrities are having are kind of falling down, and we see the truth behind the people, behind certain things they did.
I think at the end of the day, just because somebody does something that might be considered bad or a mistake or whatever, it doesn't necessarily make you a bad person. But what the problem is that they're lying, right? If you make a mistake and you can stand for it and just be a big person and admit that you did something wrong, that's really all, because nobody's perfect. We've all done things, and as it's something that I've always been like, I'm authentic. I've done shit in my past, but I have nothing to hide, and I'm not ashamed of it. All I know is that I am a better person, and I try to be better every day, and that's really all that matters.
Yeah, we all did crazy things. I mean, when it comes to vampirism, the cult vampirism, there are 3 types of vampirism. There is the psychic vampire that drains energy from other people. Some people drain energy from other people without knowing that they are doing it. We all met people like that. For example, if you meet a person that is really sick and is pulling all the attention towards him or her, they are draining your energy, right? Well, on the other hand, you can have a person that is really sick but is still joyful and still optimistic and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So yeah, there's a psychic vampire, but also the sanguine vampire, the one who drinks blood. And there are all people that drink blood, and even I myself drink blood on occasions. What
did that do for you? What did that feel like? Or like, so when you did it, what benefit did you get from it?
Well, it was kind of like in a sexual situation. So you are already aroused and you take a knife and make a small cut so that blood comes out, and you always take just a drop. It's not like you drink a whole cup of blood. It's always you drink safe amounts of it, because if you drink too much, you
What
you
about
get sick.
disease and stuff? Do you have to get tested or something?
Yeah, it's always important to know the partner you are having. They should always be tested, and you should never ever do it on several people in the same. It's best to have just one donor, right?
Mm-hmm.
one you can trust and is tested and etc.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, if you do things like that or BDSM or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, adrenaline comes in your blood. So you are basically tasting the adrenaline in the blood.
Yes.
And that will get you high, that will get you aroused, that will get you, it's even if it's just one drop. It's the same thing with a dog. If a dog bites a human and tastes blood for the first time, that dog will bite people forever because it got the taste of fresh blood, if
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just there's something addicting to it, to the taste of it.
So how do
How
you
to?
how do you get rid of that addiction, or do you just keep doing it, but in a better environment with somebody that's okay with it?
No, I haven't done it for quite a time. But the stopping with addiction is simple. I've been a heavy alcoholic. I've been a smoker. I did everything that's not good
Same.
for you. The only way to stop an addiction is to stop. There is no building down pattern or whatever. All the classes they got in addiction, it's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Because most addiction classes, they instead of smoking, you get nicotine.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
it's stupidity, right? Even though that's a whole different conversation, but nicotine is actually healing and cures a lot of disease, but it's got to be pure, real, organic nicotine. I'm sure in the
but
nicotine
you keep
patches they put a bunch of chemicals like everything else.
yeah. Tobacco is not the tobacco it used to be. There's too much.
No, we have, if somebody is curious, we have a source for 100% organic tobacco. And I used to smoke when I was young, and I quit, like cold turkey quit. And I found it so disgusting until I a little while ago got to try actual real organic tobacco. And I was like, oh, wow, this is not at all what I used to do, you know?
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, to stop an addiction is to say to yourself, "I stop today." From
Yep,
this moment, that's
yep.
the only way to stop
Mm-hmm.
any type of addiction. Because the moment
Yes.
you go to a certain class or a certain
Mm-hmm.
whatever, they keep you addicted one way or
Yep.
another.
Mm-hmm.
Cold turkey is the only way. I mean, go to the shaking if you stop at alcohol. Your body will shake, but it has to shake because the alcohol has
Yeah.
to come out, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So go through it. Doesn't matter. Just stop. That's the only way to stop. I
Mm-hmm.
don't believe in all the guru bullshit about stopping with smoking while still getting the nicotine patches and whatsoever. No, just stop. That's the only way to stop. Is
Yeah.
to stop.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's yeah. In the cults there are many people that drink blood, not all.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like I said, it can be
So is
addicting.
that
It can be
optional? If you're in this cult, they don't kind of want to push you to do certain things, or no?
no. The most important rule in this cult is to always have consent
Mm-hmm.
and respect for your donor, partner, whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because they have to abide by law and whatsoever.
Yeah.
However, there are certain techniques in vampirism that can help you
Mm-hmm.
to get the consent from people.
Yeah.
Um, Seduction techniques,
Mm-hmm.
NLP, mesmerism, um, uh, types of hypnosis.
Mm-hmm.
You can always not a person like you. I mean, you are the type of person that went to a concert and was like, I'm going out. I don't like this. But a
Yeah, I
lot
said
of people,
obviously I don't know. For some reason, I have some sort of spiritual protection. That is for sure. Because when I start thinking back to all of these different scenarios, it's the same. I used to drink a lot of alcohol, and one day I just didn't do it anymore. I used to smoke cigarettes, 2 packs a day for like 13 years, and I just Just stop. Just like that. It's the same with sugar. One day I just stopped eating sugar. And the only sugar I touch now is like fruit. And I never understood. I understand, but I don't. Because I do not believe I can be addicted to something. I don't believe it's possible. Because I can just make the choice to not do it. So
Exactly.
clearly, like the people that are truly addicted and they can't stop, what is different inside of them? Like, I'm sure it comes down to, energy and whatnot and spiritual things. But I was just like, nah, I don't have it in me. It doesn't exist.
Exactly. And coming back to the consent and mesmerism part, um, there I got 2 books about that. These are the Dutch version, but you know them, the 48 Laws of Power. It's a big book of historical moments. Napoleon, Julius Caesar, Adolf Hitler, people like that, and how they gain power. But the same writer also written this book, and it's The Art of Seduction, but this is the Dutch version of it.
Yeah.
And The Art of Seduction literally explains every type of situation how to seduce people. Because there's always some part in people that can be seduced. Even if it's really small.
Yeah.
And when it comes to mesmerism and NLP, a great example is I have a conversation with you about wild sexual stuff. And while I'm having that conversation, I show this necklace and I tell a story about this necklace and how it was part of a sexual event I had in my life, for example. And I play a little bit with this necklace while telling it.
Yeah.
And because I play with it, you are staring at the necklace while I'm telling the sexual story. So the next time, if I meet you a week later and you see me wearing that necklace, you automatically remember the story I told you about the necklace and the sexual event I told you. And then we get eventually, it's first we meet in a public situation, and then we meet in a private situation, and I again wear the necklace and I again tell a story. So I'm slowly building up the...
That's what it is.
You know where I'm getting at, right?
Oh, yeah, I say it's genius marketing strategy. I worked in marketing for 23 years, and I mean, all of these things, it's all marketing in different ways. And that's what they're doing with everything, with social media, with everything.
And in that way, even if you aren't attracted to me or whatsoever, because of the story, because of the necklace, because I tell how this necklace is connected to a cult who has power, another illusion, you are drawn into all the illusions that I share with you. And then you get not addicted or attracted to me, but you get attracted to the illusion. The same way people get attracted to famous people because of the illusion of being famous. Because in the end, that famous person also has a normal family, also has a job, even if it's being an actor, or they do have a job. I mean, even certain famous musicians even have normal jobs as a painter or whatever, because they don't make enough money out of their music. There are a couple of really famous bands, and the guitar players, they have a normal job and they tour, right? So yeah, once the illusions fall away, you meet a normal person.
Yeah.
And the fame is gone, the illusion is gone, but a lot of people picking up the necklace are sensitive to certain techniques like that, to mesmerism techniques, so yeah. And like you said, in marketing, it's the same. The power of a song, of music. You always remember a tune in your head.
Yeah.
That is why they use certain songs in commercials. It's you hear the song on the radio and you think, oh, it's Coca-Cola. I gotta buy Coca-Cola. No, you don't have to.
That's why
You
I've
don't
been
have
going
to.
really hard on this whole McDonald's thing because there are a lot of famous people that are posting McDonald's left and right. And I said I lost a bunch of followers from posting this lady that just gave birth to a baby, breastfeeding the baby with her McDonald's. And I said, fuck no. And I did a whole thing online and people called me an asshole for talking shit about a new mom. And I said, you guys don't understand. This is not like this is all planned. Like she did not eat that shit, first of all. And the fact that you even post that when you have millions and millions and millions of followers and you're like known for being this healthy person and then she's saying it's okay to eat McDonald's sometimes. Yeah, you just gave birth like 30 minutes ago. It's not fucking okay, you know? And then people say, "Oh, Max, you can have a cheat meal if you want. She can have a cheat meal." I was like, "Holy shit, don't even get me started here." No?
Well, talking about cheat days, I rather eat fast food from a local Turkish restaurant like kebabs and shawarmas,
Yeah.
because then you got healthy meat, healthy vegetables, and it still tastes like fast food.
Yeah.
But when me and my girlfriend, we never eat there, but if we take McDonald's, we get sick.
Yeah.
We get
I'm running on like 15 plus years now. I haven't eaten any sort of fast food. Like I used to have a food addiction or ish. Again, one day I just stopped. So I don't even like to call it an addiction, but I was very much about the sugary donuts and shit when I came here from Sweden because we don't have that in Sweden, so it was all new and exotic for me and it destroyed me from the inside. And now I can't even smell these damn things without wanting to do that.
Yeah, with me, McDonald's and sugar, it gives me instant inflammation. Just
Yep.
10 minutes
Yes.
later, I'm feeling sick. I'm feeling bad. Not gonna eat that.
Man, I gotta get you some of these things. I think we can ship to the Netherlands. This is what we do. Take away inflammation, rebuild the immune system. So even though you shouldn't be eating the sugary stuff, but let's say you did. Reduce inflammation 47%.
Yeah, I did order the immune from the LOV.
Oh yeah. Well, maybe I'll send you a gift of that one too. Let me know when you get it.
Yeah, I will. So yeah, going back to the Strigoi V, they got a couple of books.
Yes. Hold on. Here we go.
Energy Magic of the Vampire.
Ooh.
By Don Webb.
Mm-hmm.
There is The Path of the Living Vampire.
Mm-hmm.
And a really awesome thing, and this one I think is signed as well. Oh, it was the other one. People living in cults, they have a day life and a night life. The day life is their job, being a politician or an actor or whatever. It's basically their cover. It's their family and children, their job, their, it's a cover.
Most of these people's families know, or do you think a lot of them are kind of having a second life here?
I come back to that question in a minute. Anyways, the nightlife is the real life they got. The rituals, the dark meetings, Bohemian Grove kind of bullshit, Skulls and Bones kind of bullshit. The orgies they got. But when it comes to the question you have, a friend of mine, he works as a bodyguard, as a security specialist, whatsoever. So he met famous people, and he showed me the world, what it really is. And we have Utrecht in the Netherlands, a city, where all the big insurance companies are. And in Utrecht, there was also a red light district with really expensive prostitutes that cost like $500 an hour kind of prostitutes. And he drove me there and he said, "Do you see that limousine? That's the big boss of that and that insurance company. See that one? That's the boss of that company." And we were walking past a car, and there was a big CEO of a big insurance company. And on his dashboard, he had a picture of his wife and children. And he was going to a BDSM mistress to get his kinks, you know. And I heard him on the phone calling his wife, and he said, "Honey, I got overwork to do. I gotta be home later. I gotta be home in 2 hours. Goodbye, love, you know." So he was having a dark side that she didn't know about. Coming back to the Dave Grohl story about his child with another woman, his wife didn't know. The world didn't know. So, yeah. Some families know, some families are in it, but I think
Are
some
there kids
families.
there too? Are there kids in the cult?
No, not in this cult. This cult is they have strict rules, no minors. They even say you aren't allowed to show minors these books. So
Oh, okay. Well, that doesn't sound like the most horrible cult then.
no, it's not the most horrible one. There are more horrible cults. Well, then to Strigoi there is the Vampire Magic book. And this one I got actually signed, as you can see.
Oh.
2024.
You got it signed this year?
No, he sent it to me signed.
Oh.
I ordered it and I got it in a signed version. Same with this book, also signed. And the Black Veils is about the lifestyle of the vampire, about the parties and stuff. And with that, there's another YouTube video you can show. It's the cult event with famous people. You will see an actress from True Blood, from that vampire TV show, who even is
I
part
used
of
to
the cult.
watch that. Wait, so which link?
It's the cult event with famous people.
Oh, there. Now I see. Okay, perfect. This up. Second.
And you're gonna see famous people in it.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Sharing the screen.
He's very well connected.
Are you afraid of pleasure? Are you in love with pain? Tell me, how do you measure beauty and fame? I feel our heartbeat start to sink. I feel the blood rush through your veins. It feels so very good to drink you in. Is it a sin to want you so badly? I want you to dance with me. Feel our bodies release. Let go of the fight. Let go of the fight. And slip into endless nights.
Yeah.
Did you notice the famous actress from True Blood?
No. I was looking. I'm not very good at. I definitely watched it, but is it the main actress? No.
No, it's the blonde woman. She was like the one of the older vampires in the series. She came later, I think season 3 or something. But
Yeah, no, I didn't. Maybe other people recognize. I did not. I'm not very good at this whole famous person. type of thing.
But as you can see, they are all connected.
Oh yeah.
Hollywood cult.
Mm-hmm. Oh
But
yeah.
like I said, this cult isn't the worst one. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, when you look at Bohemian Grove,
Yeah.
the cults for the real elite,
Yeah.
they are way
Well,
worse
I
than.
don't know if you know. So I have a friend. His name is Justin Leslie. That was the Pfizer whistleblower. I'm actually wearing. I did a shirt collaboration for my company, Pure Blood, with him. So he worked undercover for James O'Keefe with the whole Bohemian Grove and all this stuff. So yeah, I haven't talked to him in a while. Actually, I should probably have him on soon again. But yeah, that was a lot of interesting information. He released a couple of documentaries about all of that, and what they did was he worked for Pfizer, got all of this material, like videos and stuff he had done, and gave them to James O'Keefe because they were going to help him expose it, and then they ended up taking it from him. And basically, it's like a whole lawsuit situation now for him trying to get it back.
Did you know that von der Leyen from the EU, the European Union,
Uh-huh.
the biggest leader,
Yeah.
that she bought a lot of Pfizer stock
Mm-hmm.
just before COVID happened?
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of the
And did you
people
know
that
how
work
much
there
the Pfizer stock raised after COVID?
probably. Wait, after COVID? I mean,
She,
yeah, probably a lot because
yeah,
everyone's feeling
during
sick.
COVID.
So we have, with the food technology we work with, a lot of the people we're talking to and helping are vaccine injured people, including, I said, my own family. Luckily, though, we have extremely good results. So that's another story. But there is certain
Well,
research done that shows that there is a lot we can do for them, which we can't really talk about. But
there's
yeah,
another
there's a lot of
another
weird
quick.
disease going on now.
There's another awesome law case happening with AstraZeneca that also put in the vaccine because
Yeah.
in the
Well, that's the one you
Netherlands.
guys use mostly in Europe, right?
No, we use
No?
Pfizer mostly because
Oh,
in the
really?
Netherlands,
Oh,
what
okay.
was
Maybe it was
happening with
different in Sweden. I feel like my family told me it was AstraZeneca over there.
well, what was happening in the Netherlands?
Mm-hmm.
People were getting jabbed with the AstraZeneca,
Uh-huh.
and they were instantly dying between a
Yeah.
week and a month. All heart attacks. So the Dutch government, thank
Mm-hmm.
God, stopped using AstraZeneca.
Uh-huh.
However, in the UK, they kept using it.
Uh-huh.
Well, it was known that it would kill people. So now in the UK, there is a big lawsuit against AstraZeneca
Mm-hmm.
and against the UK government because they
Mm-hmm.
knew it was killing people and they were keep using it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Pfizer is less deadly. I don't dare to say safe. I say less deadly than
I mean,
AstraZeneca.
there's no medication on the planet that is safe, and I consider this like it's all in the same pocket. Whether people die instantly or not, it's making everybody sick. And I mean, I am a literally proof that I was born with a lot of things and I have none of them left. So anything is reversible and we don't need any doctors or medications to fix it. All we need
Yeah,
is
medicine is
nature.
really simple. You get one pill for one condition. The mother of the security guy I was talking about, she
Uh-huh.
had a skin rash, so she
Uh-huh.
got a medicine for that.
Mhm.
That medicine gave her side effects.
Yes.
So they had medicine for the side effects.
Yeah. That's true.
Eventually, she ended up with 30 types of medicine, 30 types
Yeah.
for side effects. And
Because
she got
nobody's doctors do not want to go down and fix the root cause. They just fix symptoms. And symptoms never
exactly.
remove, it's only band-aiding and hiding the root cause, which is, I said, what we do. And that's why it's hard when we talk about our food technology, people don't really fully understand how you can use one and the same herb for everything. They're like, it don't make sense because we're so brainwashed to think that eczema. This kind of eczema on the nose is this medication, and then if you have eczema in the ears, another medication, and then you have a little pain over here. Like that's how we're taught, that there's one pill per condition. While it's a bunch of bullshit. All we need to do is just fix our insides and our guts and our immune systems, and then it kind of just takes care of itself.
And another big problem, healthcare products and like shampoos and even makeup,
Oh yes.
microplastics in them. You literally rub in microplastic into your bloodstream. The reason I drink,
I'm actually on 1 year shampoo free. I stopped using shampoo a year ago, and my hair has never been so good. And I'm currently swapping out my closet for only cotton clothes. I still have a few select items of synthetic material, like some dresses and whatnot, but the majority, everything I'm wearing, my shirt right now 100% cotton, my shorts 100% cotton, my socks 100% cotton, like all of these things, everything we have, yes, it's just synthetic crap.
and another important thing, this is a glass bottle. It's
Mhm.
and I filter my own water because even in the water there's a lot of
Yeah.
bad stuff
Yep.
in the tap water.
I have a distilling
But
machine here myself.
if you buy mineral water in the store, it's in a
Mhm.
plastic bottle. What
Yes.
we know about plastics is, have you ever had a plastic toy and put it in the sun?
I don't know. It'll probably melt. Huh?
Well, it kind of breaks down slowly
Mhm.
into tiny, microscopic, tiny pieces. So if you got a plastic bottle from the supermarket, first of all, it's bottled in the factory. It travels all the way to the supermarket, and in between, it's always somewhere in the sun.
Oh
So
yeah.
the UV light from the sun
Mhm.
is burning in microplastics into the water. So the moment you buy that bottle of drinking water, it's filled with microplastics, which cause cancer, which cause brain damage, everything. So yeah, don't
All
buy
gas
bottled
leading.
water. Filter water.
Yes. Well,
Use a filter.
so I distill my water and then I filter it, both of it, everything distilled. So I distill my tap water and filter it, and then I use glass bottles to store it.
Do you also put in minerals by using Celtic sea salt? Because that's what I'm
Yeah.
doing.
So I actually use Dr. Barbara's Celtic salt. Yeah. I mean, I don't
Okay,
necessarily put
perfect.
it in my water. I put it on my food, or I just eat the salt like straight up. And I used to live in Las Vegas, and I used to go up to the mountains when it's like 120 degrees Fahrenheit, which is super hot. And I would never bring water or anything, and I would just climb them up, and I would be fine. And people say, "Oh my God, you're gonna get overheated. You're gonna die." I'm like, no. All I do is I take my Acemannan Betalains, I eat a spoon of Celtic salt, and then I'm fine. I don't get dehydrated. Nothing.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Because if you filter water, you take out the minerals, and if you drink pure filtered water, your body can't take it in to where it's needed. And if you,
Yes. And then I
uh,
also have Kangen water. You know the Kangen machine?
I don't know
Kangen.
that one. I have a zero
It's
water
kind
filter.
of it's Kangen. I think yeah, it's a European company. Kangen water. So they basically clean it somehow, and then I don't know the scientific breakdown on it, but it's one of the probably most expensive and best things you can do, which hydrolyzes, iodinizes, like everything.
Ah, yes, I know what you mean. And alkaline it.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes, yes, yes. So yeah, that's also stuff I write about in my book: water, air,
Good. Yes.
food,
Mm-hmm.
medicine, the real medicine, not the
Yes.
pharmaceutical.
Mother
Um,
Nature medicine.
exactly. Basically, everything that's in my mind, I put in the book, and then when it's done, I put it out for free. So yeah, health. We can go into that later because the cult part, I still got a few books left
Oh yeah.
and a couple of
The
links.
juicy stuff.
There is this book. It's written by Acemannan Mason.
Mm-hmm.
And the last name Mason, the first thing I think about is Freemasons.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a wild guess.
Uh-huh.
It's called the Grimoire of Tiamat.
Uh-huh.
And this is the Eye of Tiamat.
Uh-huh.
I told you earlier on Instagram that I had that I used mushrooms to get into a certain state of mind,
Mm-hmm.
and that I literally saw this eye.
Yeah.
Literally was communicating with it. It's crazy how you can connect to certain dark or light entities during trips, but yeah, I did.
So did you do this before you knew of that book or after?
Before I found the book after.
Oh.
And
Okay.
I recognized the eye because I saw the exact same eye. So it was it was after the book, and then I instantly bought the book. But this book,
I had a similar thing. So I did an energy session a while ago, and I saw my tree of life basically grow back, and it was this like, I can't even explain it. And then I went into an art store one day, and they had a little pin that looked exactly like my vision, and I bought the pin, and it's laying here, and I'm like, I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to do with it, but I'll figure it out. I was meant to have it.
weird, isn't it? Did you ever have a dream, a vivid dream that happened the day after or a week after that you predicted the future?
Okay. I have actually a crazy thing. So I had a lot of times for many, many years, I never remember what I dreamt ever. But I had one time I woke up in the middle of the night, this is about 2 years ago, like just sweating and my mouth was hurting. So I dreamt that I lost all of my teeth. And I woke up with like an infection in my gums. Whatever, I'm just thinking I probably dreamt it because my tooth was hurting, right? So I get up, I do my herb stuff and like rinse my mouth with like celery and take my Acemannan, and it was gone in 2 days. But then I'm talking to my friend and she said, well, do you know that when you dream about losing teeth, it means somebody's gonna die? And I had just found out that my stepsister had stage 4 leukemia. So I'm like, Luckily though, she's fine, she's cancer free, she's good. It wasn't her. But like the day after, I get a text message and I'm accidentally added to a group chat that I'm not supposed to be in about a man that just died. And that was like right after. So yeah, I mean, it happened. That was just like a very, very extreme thing. But yeah, all the time.
Yeah, crazy things happen. Only one time in my life did I had a dream about the day I was going to have. And the day started, and everything was exactly the way I dreamt it in detail. That was really weird. It was like a deja vu,
Yeah.
I'm glad it only happened once because it wasn't a good day for me. It was, but I lived it twice. One time in the astral world and one time in the physical. But anyways, back to the book. There is a lot of deep, dark, occult symbols in it. And this book even explains how to do rituals where you actually drain blood. And you put down certain markers and occult symbols with the blood you drained.
Yeah. So what does it explain? Do you need to find a person to drain?
Well, this says it in general. Just drain blood, put it in a cup, and draw down.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a lot of occult symbols in it. It's a really dark kind of book. Going back to the obsidian mirror I just showed you. Oh, there's another thing. This is a pattern you need to draw down on the floor.
Yeah.
Also really occult. But the black mirror, here you got it. The altar. You got the skull and you got the portal, the mirror, into the astral world. So yeah, that's what people do during rituals. But it's a crazy book. It's really dark. It's not not for the light side. It's darker than the cult I was showing, because this one actually wants you to draw blood and stuff like that. But yeah, there's also that. And then there is another cult that is, in a way, connected to the World Economic Forum, and that's something interesting. And it's the Temple of the Vampire. You become a paid member. You always have to pay to become a member. And if you leave the cult,
because I would assume that some of these things they're actually making money on people, right?
yes, this cult wants you to pay. The other cult doesn't need you to pay, but you pay for the events, right? If you go to an event, you pay for a ticket, but that's normal. But this one wants you to pay monthly, and you get the rights to read their forums and stuff like that, and to connect to members. However, if you leave this cult, you aren't allowed to come back. Ever. So that's kind of weird, isn't it? But the cult is from the early 80s. And they worship the dragon speaks, the undead gods, stuff like that. So they literally do ritual where they summon certain things. And I gave you their website, Temple of the Vampire, but the second one is the forum. So I'd like you to open that.
Yes. So that transhumanism or mind control?
No. The Vampire Temple from Vampire Cult, the Immortality one.
Oh, there.
Link. I read Immortality behind it.
Got it. Hold on.
And if you scroll down, I have to open.
Share the screen. Here we go. Yes.
I gotta open it myself because somewhere in the middle there is. You can't open the forums, but you can read the titles of it. Oh yeah, Dayside Secrets, Immortality Secrets. Do you see that one?
Yes.
Well, what they because I read the posts there. Certain secrets to living longer was
so you're saying
becoming a It was becoming a vegetarian was part of it.
Wait, becoming a vegetarian is a part of living immortality?
Living longer.
But
you told me about
are you a
how
vegetarian and drink blood?
Yeah, it's but trust me, it was part of it. You told me. Remember when I showed you my library and I showed you the How Not to Die book?
Yes, I have it also.
That book is a vegan book, so
it just kind of goes against, because I feel like if I'm vegetarian, like I know a lot of people that are eating in a certain way for spiritual reasons and whatnot, but if you drink blood, that kind of goes against the entire thing about being vegan or vegetarian.
Yeah, but not all vampires drink blood. Most of them just drain energy, go for the purest form of energy.
I've been trying a lot. I've been trying to be vegan several times, and my body thrives on meat and also very, very raw meat. And I love vegan food, and I mean like actual good, healthy type of farm stuff. Now I don't mean like vegan in the grocery store, but my body doesn't seem to want to do that.
Well, everybody is different. My body needs meat also because I have zero body fat. I never had body fat in my entire life. Zero.
Yeah.
if I don't eat meat, I don't feel good.
Same,
Somehow I
same.
need the animal fats, because if I don't
Same.
get the animal fats, especially during the winter times, if it's summer, I can eat vegan.
Do you
So if
still
I
think
want
you and
to,
me can be immortal on meat? I think we can.
yeah, you know,
Here's the thing.
in
Your most
spiritually,
important thing is here. If you believe, it is.
the most important thing spiritually, we are all immortal. I mean,
Yes. Well, that is very true. Yes. I mean, this is just a shell, and when this
a
one is
vehicle.
done, we will take a new one. Yes. Exactly.
Exactly.
Hmm.
But when it comes to immortality, the Temple of the Vampire way, and then we have to go to the World Economic Forum link I gave you,
Uh-huh.
the Fourth Industrial Revolution by Klaus Schwab. It's the official website.
Pull that one up here. Let's see. Screen. Here we go. Yes.
This is the official website of the World Economic Forum, where all world leaders, even Joe Biden, Putin, Xi Jinping from China, all the world leaders, Elon Musk has been there, Donald Trump, everybody that is connected to the elite goes to the World Economic Forum.
Yes.
But if you read the first sentence, it's something about putting brain implants and genetic editing of the human.
Oh, you mean right at the top?
Right at the top.
I don't know how to say that word. Ubiquitous. Mobile supercomputing, intelligent robots, self-driving cars, neurotechnological brain enhancements, genetic editing. Yes. And a little side note here. So I'm Swedish, right? And way back, and this is a long time ago, I told my father that they are putting microchips in people in Sweden, and he said, "Stop being such a conspiracy theorist." And then he actually called me a couple years later and he said, "Remember that thing you told me about the microchip?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "You were right." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know. They've been doing that for a very long time."
Well, the thing about this, the Fourth Industrial Revolution by Klaus Schwab and the cult I was part of, they all believe that, or at least they are working on genetically engineering humans into living longer and putting AI and chips in our heads so that we
So
can
we're no
copy,
longer human.
but that we also can copy our consciousness into a microchip, into AI, so that we live through AI, the person that we are, and that we can download our AI consciousness into another body.
But that
That's
kind of, I mean,
basically,
it goes against, like we said, we never die, right? Like our
yeah.
spirits, our souls, our consciousness, it always lives on. So like, why are we gonna put it, like, now we're messing with with fucking God's work here, because you're not supposed to be in a microchip. You're supposed to move on to wherever you're supposed to go next, right? So how is that supposed to be? So let's say that okay, theoretically, whatever people believe, let's say that after I die, I get reborn into something else on Earth, right? What if I connect with myself? Like, am I gonna meet myself then? Am I gonna find myself in a microchip here somewhere? Like, it just, I
Yeah.
feel like it's going to go sideways somehow.
It's not supposed to happen, but that's the whole transhumanism thing, and they are trying to push it to 2035.
Yeah.
I mean 2030 and 2045. There are two agendas. I've written about both in my book. Agenda 2030 is about the whole carbon thing and carbon taxes. They want to tax us even more. They want to drain every bit out of our spirit. But Agenda 2045 is all about transhumanism.
Yeah.
And the thing I think they are trying to do is to soul trap us. I mean, right now I am trapped inside my body, right? I can do astral projection to leave my body,
Uh-huh.
but the moment I gotta go to the toilet or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I'm instantly back in my body. I'm always attached to a spiritual line.
Mm-hmm.
My soul and body are always connected.
Mm-hmm.
But if they make the body immortal, they basically put a soul trap on you.
Yeah. So you never
Because
can leave.
then, exactly.
Yeah.
And you know the song by Queen, Who Wants to Live Forever? I think nobody.
No.
Oh, only sick and twisted people want to live forever because
Yeah.
they are attached to control, they are attached to power, they are attached to all the evil stuff in the world.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds when you really think about it, it sounds horrible because you just, I mean, there are some movies that are created like about vampires and whatever, you know, where they said, okay, I'm like 1,000 years, like I just want to freaking die now, like just let me fucking go, you know. It has a point to that when you have achieved whatever you are supposed to do here, I feel like you just probably just feel completed, and I'm like, yeah, it's time now.
Exactly. It's sickening what's happening. Another thing, and Elon Musk is helping on that chip. He's the first person building that chip. So everybody saying Elon Musk is a good human being with Neuralink. Well, there are two things I think about Neuralink. One thing is if someone is disabled and you can put a chip in them and give them extra limbs so they can move again and they can live their lives, then I think it's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Yes.
But the danger is if they can put a chip in your head that can control limbs, it can also reverse engineer, control your brain.
Yes.
So you become a mindless zombie.
All technology can be used for good and bad. And there's
Exactly.
always going to be both. There's going to be those people who truly want to use it for good, and there's going to be people who want to use it for bad.
And I watched a really long interview with Elon Musk, and he was talking about AI. And he had a really good point. He said, AI can be really dangerous because who is controlling the AI, right?
Yeah, but that they kind of want to create it so that it controls itself, right? So the AI almost has its own brain, and they come down to then again, like there are those movies, right, where they, you know, where it takes over completely, and that if you make it so darn smart, then the risk is that we completely lose control over it, right?
Yeah, and with the chip in our brain, the story of the Matrix is coming closer than to reality than, and it's already there because I sent you another video, we forum, the mind control one.
Yes.
It's about the future of our workplace, of our office. People need to watch that. That video is sick.
Let's see here. Should I play it now? It's really long. Let me see here.
Yeah, just.
And then we're going to do a little Q&A, questions from the audience, and that'll be a wrap, and you'll leave enlightened and excited. So first off, a video. It's going to make you see the future and understand a wonderful future where we can use brainwaves to fight crime, be more productive, and find love. Let's roll.
I can't believe they don't have a speed setting.
You're in the zone.
I am going to do this. Unless you want me to play the whole thing now, I could just, because I repost this whole thing after, and I can basically speed it up and edit it into the video. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's way better, and give people the link so they can look into it themselves. But basically, I can. I think it's good if I quickly explain what's happening in the video. They got earplugs like Apple earplugs. The technology is already there. And those earplugs, they are exactly the same as the Apple ones. They can read brainwave patterns. They can read your mind. And they are the same size as the Apple earplugs. So conspiracy theory speaking, you know when you are on Instagram and you think about broccoli, and all of a sudden you see a broccoli video appearing?
Yes, all the time, right?
You haven't spoken about it, you haven't typed it, but the broccoli is appearing on Instagram.
Yep.
Well, anyways, this technique, they want to use it in the work field. That if you are at work behind the desk doing work for your boss, for your elite leaders, and you are daydreaming or thinking about something else because you hate your job, all that information, it's in the video. All that information is going to your superiors, to your manager,
That's
to your
disturbing
boss.
stuff. You get an email, you're fired. What did I do? You're thinking about ice cream all day.
Exactly, and the thing is, you get same. You know how we are addicted to emojis. For example, I type some text to you, and I wait for a response, and you put in a really excited emoji, and I'm like, wow, I got something back from you. Wow, amazing. You know, it's not real social contact.
No.
This system is based on it because you get a score and you get the digital fireworks on your screen if your thoughts are the way they want your thought to be. And you get fireworks and you get the happy emoji on the screen. It's all in the
They
video.
actually have it in this streaming software that I use right now. I just don't do the things that triggers it, but this software even has it. If you do certain hand movements, it sends a bunch of emoji bullshit, so I don't do it on purpose.
And you know, I'm all about old school social interactions. This is a black mirror. I mean, look at the obsidian mirror in this one. It's exactly the same.
Yep.
It's a fucking portal to demons. It's making people brainless. It's making
Actually,
people.
speaking of the phone too, I'm just gonna go do a pointer since we were talking about water here before. People, if you guys don't know, like water absorbs energy and frequency. Do not put your phones next to the water you're gonna drink. This is another story I can put some links to, but there's a lot of research showing that it's the same, you know, if you take water and you tell the water you hate it every day, and then you tell the other water you love it, it changes everything. You know, plants, everything is like that. So be cautious about where you put your devices. And I have this routine I've had for probably 7 years. I do not sleep around devices. This is a little different where I live now in the gym because I only have like an apartment that is one room, but I turn everything off, like flight mode, put it in the bathroom. Just think about the things.
And don't buy earplugs that are wireless.
Yes. I actually I think I am spiritually protected here, but I bought Apple the little thingies one time. I put them into my ears, and this is not a joke. I wore them maybe 2 times. I went to the gym training, one of them fell off on the floor. I put it back in. Next day I had ear infection in both my ears. That was the first and last time ever I wore that bullshit, and I have not since. I'm not saying it's gonna happen to everybody, but that's, again, I think some spirit guide is definitely telling me, Maaxx, you should not be wearing that bullshit.
Exactly. But yeah, coming to social interactions, I prefer the old school. Like we were texting back and forth, and that's nice to collaborate. But you know, having a real conversation like this is real. You know, this is
as real as it gets when we're so far away. But yes.
Yeah, exactly. And that's also a thing I write in my book is I used to have a lot of social media stuff. I had a TikTok account with a lot of followers. It was not about vampiric stuff, but it was about toys I collect. Transformers, if you know it from back the 80s. Anyways, I have a massive toy collection, and I was showing it, and I got followers worldwide. Big following, and all of a sudden I was non-stop on my telephone, and I thought, fuck it, I deleted my account. I only kept the contacts that I really wanted. I gave them my phone number, and I was like, let's do WhatsApp. And all the rest, I was like, this fake interaction, this fake social media. anti-social media, so to say. I just deleted it all. I was done with it. And my Instagram I use mostly just for my family. Family and friends. My girlfriend, she has Instagram and she loves to send me some stuff sometimes, so I kept that. I was like, well, you don't have to throw it all away, right? But I'm not posting much on my Instagram. It's more like my private little space, if you know what I mean. But social media,
What were the toys? What kind of toys? What kind of
Transformers, and I also collect Star Wars stuff. I got the Darth Vader helmet and the
What do you
Grogu
think
and
about these kind of movies? Now when we're talking about rituals and stuff, what do you think about like Star Wars? Do you think it was stuff like that even back then?
the old Star Wars has a lot of spiritual stuff in it. Like I said, Yoda talking about the two prime emotions. That he says, fear, don't have fear, because fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering. Stuff like that, it's very spiritual and even psychological, because once you realize that every bad thing that is happening inside your brain, inside your emotional body, it all started with fear. So the moment you can ask yourself, why am I angry? I'm angry because I'm afraid. What am I afraid of? And if you dig down to that, you find the traumatic experiences you had in life, right? We all have them. You have them, I have them. Even Elon Musk has trauma. Even Bill Gates has trauma. I mean, nobody is entirely evil or entirely good. But it's what do you do with that trauma, with that fear? Do you face it, or do you cower away and become angry and become bitter and become for example, when I was into the cult, it was 20 years ago, I was angry at the world, angry at everybody. I hated everybody. I hated mankind. I wanted mankind to just die out and let nature and animals take over. That was a kind of spirit I was in at that moment. I drank a lot of alcohol. I was smoking a lot of weed, stuff like that.
What was it that triggered that? Like, why did you feel that way? Was there a certain event that triggered it, you think?
Several. It started when I was 2 that my mother kind of went into a cult with me and my brother. Away from my father. She kind of took away a family I would have had and would have grown up in.
Is your mom still alive?
Yeah, she's still alive. My father passed away, cancer, unfortunately, 2 years ago. But my mother, yeah, she is. She has a narcissistic pattern in her life. But being a narcissist, being a psychopath, it's also a coping mechanism, right? They are also hurt somewhere in their life. You don't become a narcissistic person or a psychopath by nature. So things have to happen to become that. So yeah, my mother was
part of a cult. Your mom?
Yeah, but a light side cult. So she does Buddhism, prayer, and stuff like that. So that's all good. She's hoping for a better world, but she doesn't know that a big root of why she is experiencing the world as a bad place is due to the fact that she has to deal with trauma she hasn't dealt with. I mean, the world is the world. It's not good, it's not bad. It's yin and yang. However, your own mental state, your own emotional state will decide what the world will be for you. If you are living on fear, reading all the occult stuff and be like, whoa, we are in danger, this and that, and be afraid, yeah, then the world is a really nasty, really dark and evil place. However, if you, from within yourself, find self-love, because love it's not relationships, love is way bigger and better than that. When you learn to love yourself and stop hating yourself, and then you step outside, even if it's raining, you'll be like, it's a beautiful rainy day, the plants are growing now, stuff like that. But a depressed person will be like, oh, it's raining, what a shitty day, right? It's all about perception. The world. We create the world ourselves that we live in. We create our own reality. We create our own spiritual well-being. Or darkness, if we choose for that. I mean, it's a choice, right?
Oh yes. I mean, yeah, everything can be seen as good or bad. I've had a lot of injuries in my life, and I mean, I've started it probably, it's a very long time ago. Before I came over here, I came to the United States in 2012. I got injured pretty badly before I came here, and I remember that back then I would just tell people, nothing is wrong with me. I'm not hurt. Nothing is wrong. People look at me like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And now I do too. I hurt my knee just a few weeks ago on the training here, and immediately I'm like this. Now I've hurt both my knees. And the first time I hurt my knee, it took 3 months to recover, and now it took 7 days. Hell yeah, now I'm going to show people how to heal faster. And everyone says, oh my God, I'm so sorry you hurt yourself. I'm like, no, this is great. Do you understand? Like, I made it so much better than the first time, and now I can use that knowledge to help people. People think you're insane, right? But I mean, if you see it that way, you're also going to get through it easier, and you're going to heal faster. So if you have a positive mindset to it, just no matter what it is that happened, just see it as a positive thing, even if it doesn't seem so in the moment.
Yeah, and talking about positive lifestyle, like I said, 2 years ago, my father died of cancer, and it was a 5.5 year fight he has been in. So it was a real dark period of my life. I also had a job which I hated because we had narcissistic management in that job. It was we had really great managers, but they left, and we got back narcissistic managers who were slave drivers mostly. They wanted us to do more and more and more and more and more work, and people were all falling down. Even me, I got into burnout, stuff like that. So to me, the world was really negative. My whole aura, it was pure black, pure darkness at that moment. I lost my job eventually, or I got sick and I just left, And then I found another job, working at a hospital in the gardens, working outside, working with nature, training my body because it's physical work. I'm doing 8-hour-a-day workout basically, thanks to that job. So that's also amazing. The other job was an office job. I was sitting behind a screen and a telephone that was non-stop ringing, talking about mental killing yourself, right? Work in an office and you mentally kill yourself instantly. So yeah, I was at a dark place, and then I wanted to do something about it, and I met, like I said earlier, I met Rob from Disorganized Production, who was doing the podcast.
Yeah,
and I was like,
wait, I think I'm doing it tomorrow.
Yeah, he mentioned you.
I think I'm gonna be on it tomorrow, actually.
He's an amazing, really vibrant, really positive energy kind of guy. So thanks to him and other people I met, thanks to him, I kind of could flip it around. I was going down the hill and I'm going back up. So that's how sometimes people you meet in your life can flip the switch.
Oh yes.
If you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
And I have a feeling it's strange. Lately, I'm meeting a lot of people, even you, by accident.
Nothing is ever an accident.
No, but
That
I
is
put a
crazy.
comment on one of Ben's videos on Instagram, and you responded, and we got in a conversation, and here I am 2 days later.
Yeah. Well, I have a standing manifestation that I've done for a very long time. Every single day, I ask the universe to bring me the people I need to meet. And every day, I meet somebody that is a connection to something. So nothing is an accident. I asked for you, maybe you asked for me, and here we are.
Well, let me tell you then, meeting Rob, he's amazing. This necklace, it's contains dark energy. I had people that can feel it, and they say this necklace is draining the energy out of me
Now
when
I
I
kind of
touch
want
it.
to touch it. Let's see what that's about. And does it affect you, or do you know how to protect yourself against it?
Well, when I wear it, I kind of connect to my vampire self. But
Yeah.
sometimes, I don't see the dark side as something bad. I mean, trauma, for example, is the dark side. And like I said, you need the dark side to grow stronger sometimes, to turn from the dark back into the light, and sometimes from the light into the dark. I mean,
I think all growth in life, all growth has something, whether you want to call it dark or whatever. Because if it wasn't there, you wouldn't grow.
the same as day and night. You wouldn't appreciate the sun coming up if it was always there.
That is very
If you know
true.
what I mean.
Yes.
If you would always see the sun, it would be like, oh, it's just the sun, you know. But the moment it's coming up, it's special. So yeah, Rob, talking about Rob, how cool he is. He went to the jungle doing DMT from the frog and ayahuasca and Kembo. I only did the Kembo. And he gave me a new necklace. It's made from a tooth from an animal, some spine bones, and certain types of wood. It's
That's kind of a new goal for me here. That I'm not really a jewelry person at all, but I want to make my own out of things that come from places that mean something, or I found them. Like my friend took me out the other day to pick a bunch of crystals and stuff. Because now I'm like, I don't want to have things that I didn't find myself, and I found them for a reason.
Well, I think you should do maybe even create jewelry, buy certain gemstones and certain types. I mean,
Oh,
this
I
is made
started
out of
creating some
wood.
art here now. Oh yeah, yes.
And talking about wood, he also gave me this Palo Santo, the holy wood. If you burn it, it's like incense. It's to ban the evil spirits. It smells really good, so I got it on my desk just like this.
Yeah. So kind of like instead of sage.
Yes. Ben from the Unchained Brain also uses this Palo Santo.
Oh, he does. Okay.
And it's similar to sage. But this one smells really nice. It's
Actually, I
amazing.
had a question back to something we spoke about before. So all of these vampire cults and everything, what do they think about this whole transgender thing? Because you said, so like for example, one ritual you said preferably we should be a woman. How do they take this whole transgender thing? Is there or do you know? What do you think?
Well, a lot of people in the occult, in the vampire, well, not at least many people, even Elsa Crowley, are bisexual.
That I can see though.
So they are all bisexual, so they just have sex for the sex with men, women, some crazy people, even with animals. It happens in this world. It's crazy, but yeah. So yeah, I think to them the whole LGBTQ pedophile plus, I think they love it. Some of them, especially the pedophile part. There's way too many. Look at Liddy, look at Epstein, look at Prince Andrew from the UK. Look at Bill Gates, who went there. It's I saw a Melinda Gates interview. It was after they were divorced, and they were asking about the whole Epstein situation, and Bill Gates still visiting the island even after the case was happening. And she was like, kind of in a way saying that she divorced him because he was still visiting there. Because they know he was a pedophile, and still Bill Gates had to go to the island. So that was the reason she said that she and Bill broke up. That she felt like this is not the man I married. If you know what I mean. So yeah, like we discussed earlier, do family members know? I think Melinda Gates knew certain things, kind of ignored them, but the Epstein thing was way too much for her. Yeah. Bill Gates cheating was okay, but Bill Gates raping kids, that was too much. Yeah. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if you're gonna do something that extreme, then they kind of both have to be a part of it, right? I don't know how you would be able to accept a thing like that if you are not into that yourself.
And talking about Bill Gates, I also gave you 2 links about Bill Gates, which also are interesting.
Okay.
They are both just websites, no videos, so you can just pop them up. The first thing is the second one, the Microsoft FIFA.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on.
Because that one kind of connects to the earbuds I was talking about, the reading your mind earbuds.
Yeah.
I did a Microsoft study, got an official certificate from it, and I learned about certain products they use in the office. And one of them is Microsoft FIFA Insights. And what that thing does, it's AI controlled, and it uses the webcam from your laptop or your computer at the office. It uses your microphone. It basically spies on you, and it gives you a report on how efficient you are working. So let's say, for example, you put in work 2 hours non-stop, and you need a little mind break, right? Because your mind is overworked, and you Google a bit for a vacation you want to plan on your work, or you read the news on your computer during work time. This Microsoft FIFA will see, hear, know everything, every key you press. And it will give a report to your supervisor about how efficient you work. So if you got ADHD or whatever, and you need your mental break time, you know, I worked 1 hour non-stop on for my boss, and I need 5 minutes just staring outside the window, just to put my mind to something else, so I can go back to another 2 hours of work, right? So the moment I put my face like this, my webcam sees I'm not watching the screen, I'm not working right now, right? The same as you saw me not watching the screen. Microsoft FIFA will put that in the statistics of your of how good you work, how efficient you work. So it's basically Big Brother is watching you. And Microsoft FIFA, it's not only a program, it's inside Windows, inside Microsoft Word, inside Microsoft Office, even inside your browser. FIFA is literally connected to every program on your computer and to your working area by using the webcam and the microphone and your keystrokes and whatever. So yeah, coming back to that World Economic Forum video about mind reading and then Microsoft FIFA, it's already happening. Because they are using Microsoft Viva as we speak right now in every office.
Yep.
See where I'm getting at? How evil Bill Gates is? Trying to control us all?
Oh, yes.
So yeah, there's that also. The second link is a Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, committed grants.
Mm-hmm.
I have to
Did
open it.
when I clicked accept on this page now, did I sell them my soul or something?
I hope not.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I hope not, but yeah. Let me see. Bill Gates, there we got it. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, if you download grants data file, then you get an Excel sheet with all the stuff his foundation is sponsoring. But as you know, everything he is sponsoring, he has power over, right?
Oh, yes. I'm looking, it's like 3,746 pages of foundations. Swedish Medical Center Foundation, I happen to just click on, just like that.
Yes. Well, if you look into those foundations, first of all, when you give something to charity, you get something back from the taxes, right? You can, you know, if you are really rich, the more you give in foundations, the more money you actually make yourself, right? Because you can do a tax trick with evading taxes. So Bill Gates is using over 30,000 charities to evade taxes.
Yep.
Meanwhile, because he gave those charities money, he has power over those charities. And most charities are either pharmaceutical, buying farmland,
Gender equality, $1 million.
owning farmland, because he's buying up all the farmland. He has a lot of stock in.
I used to actually, but before, now I buy meat from a friend's farm, straight from the farm. But before, I used to go to butcher shops, and I'm the Snoopy kind. I will always want to know where shit comes from. So I will go to this butcher. I used them for probably over a year. And then suddenly one day I was like, the meat looks a little different than usual. So I asked the guy, I was like, where did you get this from? He's like, yeah, Nebraska, he said. And I was like, Nebraska? I'm like, you guys have never gotten you meat from there before. And I'm like, Bill Gates farm? So then I stopped going there.
Yeah, well, the thing with Bill Gates is he is buying up farmland to plant GMO food, genetically modified food. Monsanto, Bayer, those are the two companies, the same company even, that created food like that. The reason they do that, if I got a strawberry, a natural strawberry, nature owns it, right? It's the DNA of that strawberry is created by nature, so I can't put a patent on it. However, GMO food has patents on it, so I can patent my food. So what Bill Gates is doing, buying all the land, putting only patented food on it, so he will control food, he will control all the water, because by owning the farmland, he will control the water as well, and he can poison us as much as he like.
Yes.
Another grant, when looking at the pharmaceutical...
I made some noise. I was like, I gotta play that one right now.
Anyways, when going to the pharmaceutical stuff, he owns a lot of stock in Pfizer and other big companies. When they test a medicine on people, they have to pay people, right? A friend of mine did it. He went to a pharmaceutical as a job. He would have been there a week and he would get $5,000 for testing some medicine on him. You know, and then he have to fill in a form. I feel this and that and blah, 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 blah. However, Bill Gates plays it really smart. He helps the children in Africa by giving the children vaccines.
Mm.
A lot of children died, but what he's basically doing is, if he has to test it on you, he has to pay you, right? $5,000 per person. However, if they test it on children in Africa, it's free.
Yeah.
And he can act like he's the super Jesus or something by helping Africa.
Yeah.
Well, in fact, he's making tons of money by testing medicine on people. So yeah, Bill Gates, he is the most evil son of a bitch when it comes to making money.
Oh,
He kills children while testing medicine that eventually works. It works for us, for the Western white supreme people. But he's killing
like,
it.
I feel like we all fucking know this. Do you think anybody actually think Bill Gates is a good person?
Well, at the place I work at now at the hospital, a co-worker was mentioning all the good stuff Bill Gates is doing, helping children in Africa,
Okay, so people are actually that stupid.
creating vaccines that will help us, blah blah blah. He was really, and I was like, Bill Gates is not good.
Are they living on?
And I gave him proof. I even asked ChatGPT AI. ChatGPT is now owned by Bill Gates, by the way. He has he put money into it.
Is ChatGPT talking shit about Bill Gates?
Yes, I asked. Can you tell me about the obscure and evil stuff Bill Gates does through tax evasion and testing medicine on children? AI gave me everything, because AI gives the truth, right? It gives what it's fed. So AI can be like, oh, I shouldn't give this because Bill Gates is my boss.
Right.
AI doesn't know Bill Gates is owning him.
Yes.
It doesn't know. So that's a good thing. I turned AI against Bill Gates at work.
I'm just writing dumb shit about Bill Gates in ChatGPT right now. See what it says. It didn't give me anything good. It just says it depends. It depends on your perspective.
Yeah, but ask about how he evades taxes through his foundation, stuff like that, and that it's that he gets richer from it instead of poorer, and stuff like that. Just keep going at it, and eventually AI will give you the answers.
Oh yeah. I mean, I could go down the rabbit hole on this one.
You have to keep asking in different type of ways, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I know.
Then,
I've actually been. I'm trying to not use AI a lot, but I have been. So I am currently actually taking all the financial laws and translating them in ChatGPT to child language. So.
Well, I used AI to write my book because I had all the information in my mind. I had most of the sources, because in the back of my book are all the sources used, but I did not know everything. I did not have all the sources. So together with ChatGPT, I written that book.
Yeah.
And it even told me about the evil 13 families, even giving their names.
Wait, really?
Yeah. I give you the book.
What are
Who are the 13, how do you call it?
Oh. Yeah, it's just pulling them up.
It will give Rothschild and many other names.
Well,
Rockefeller.
Do this. Here we go. Here they are. Rothschild, Rockefeller, Morgan, DuPont, Bush, Vanderbilt, Astor, Carnegie. I don't know how to say that. Krupp, Windsor, Medici. Ford, Pfizer, blah, 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 blah. Yes, important notes on conspiracy theories. Lack of evidence.
Yeah. It's always giving that warning. But do you see a tool made by evil people can be used to beat them?
Yeah,
You can use
of course.
they put out tools,
But
and the tools
it's
betray
also
them.
this. So a lot of this information is known to a lot of people. But the problem is that people still fit into the bullshit though. So like even though people know that about food, for example, but they still buy the shit and eat it. They don't go to a farm. Or you know that the freaking doctors and medicine kills you, you still go to the damn doctor. Or you know that media is a dumb brainwashing bullshit and you're still sitting there watching the nonsense. So if anything is gonna change, people have to just like if you know something, just stop fucking doing it. Like we all
Exactly.
have to put in some effort here, you know, and do something. And I think because I started in 2020, that's when I really started talking publicly about stuff because I didn't care before. I was behind the camera, I was helping other people talk and do their shit. 2020 happens, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I need to speak. Started talking and people say, why do you have to do all this stuff? And they're gonna shut you down and all this stuff. I was like, yeah, but I have to do this because I know this shit. Why are you not doing anything? And I think at this point, I even have I don't want to share, but I have a new collection coming out for my Pure Blood. And one of them is pointing out this shit. If you know and you don't do anything, you are part of the fucking problem. If you sit there and shut your mouth and you don't do anything, you are a part of the fucking problem.
You know what's funny? Everything you just said is exactly in my book. The first chapter, I discussed the social pyramid, the people in power and whatever, the evil stuff. The second chapter, I talk about I got two theories. I got a theory. You got the pyramid with all the elites on top and us on bottom. However, we carry the pyramid.
Yes.
The moment we say we stop doing this bullshit, the pyramid is gone. So that's one thing. And I got that whole pyramid written down in my book. But the second,
keep talking. I have a picture I can pull. No, where is this?
the second in my book is also the picture of the pyramid. I sent you, so you can instantly get an awesome pyramid picture. But in the second chapter, I have a bottom-up theory that the pyramid provides this, but we don't need this. We can, from the bottom, start with fresh air. Don't live in a city, but live closer to nature. Trees provide better oxygen, clean air. I mean, a tree can filter out all the carbon out of the air and turn it into oxygen. So breathing techniques, oxygen, clean water, clean food, exercise, all those things you can do. Real social context, like I was talking about earlier. Throw away your Instagram account if you're too much on it, or put it on hold.
I think too that because social media can be, again, it can be used for good, it can be used for bad. I hate social media. I don't just sit on social media and look at dumb shit. I go on and I do this, what we're doing right now. And then I get the fuck out of there. And I have friends texting me, did you see what I posted on my story today? No, I did not. You know me, you have my phone number. Fucking call me if you want me to see something. I don't look at your shit. I'm sorry. But like I go on and I do what I feel is necessary to help people and then I leave. And then people are, and I said, like to me, this is whatever you want to call it. This is work. This is my contribution to humanity. And I don't care about it in any other shape or form.
You got called to do this, right? You felt the urge to
so
do
I don't
it.
necessarily think it's a bad thing, but most people are not using it for anything good. They're just sitting there and getting more and more stupid. And I was trying to find this meme. I found a meme where there was like a really cool drawing of like the upper powers sitting at a table, and the entire table was held up by the people. And that's what you're saying. You know, if we stand up,
Exactly.
that whole table falls. And that's why
So
people live in
basically,
fear and they're scared to do something. But everybody can do something. We're doing something. I'm doing something. You doing something. And we're still here. And we've been doing this for a good freaking while. And if
yeah.
this was an issue, we wouldn't be sitting here right now.
You know, if my book is fully completed, because I'm still working on the word by word translation, like I got it only translated by AI, and certain chapters I done by hand already, but I'm still working on it. Takes a lot of time. You are allowed to just share it with anybody that should read it. It's just knowledge.
You should translate it to more languages too. I'll help you.
Yeah, that would be awesome. But like I said, the first chapter is about the evil pyramid. The second chapter is about building your own pyramid, building your own system. Start with clean air, water, social context, whatever. The third chapter is about transhumanism, IT, Microsoft, Apple, all the big tech companies. Because I think we live in a world with technical stuff. The fourth chapter is about all the cults. Crowley, Scientology, the cults I have been in, Satanism, everything. Even up to cults that even do child sacrifice. Have you seen the interview with that president that arrested everybody of MS-13? The Tucker Carlson interview. That president arrested all the MS-13 gang members, and they found altars with babies on it that were sacrificed. And the president of that country said, "This is a spiritual war. We have to fight this evil and we have to destroy it. It's spiritual. It's not physical anymore. It's on the fucking..."
Straight goosebumps right now.
So yeah, that's also in the cult part of the chapters, and also as a source, the Tucker Carlson interview is in there in my book, because I put every source I used in it, because I can tell you a story, but I have to back it up. I have to prove it. I don't like bullshitters with "I've been here, I've been there" without any proof. Then fuck off with your bullshit. There are so many influencers who use conspiracy theory to make money out of it.
Yes.
Fuck those kind of guys. I hate them. Joe Rogan is one of those guys. He doesn't care.
Thank you for saying that.
He doesn't care what he talks about, what guests he has, as long as he makes money. He's happy.
I
You said the same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. However, I got one Joe Rogan in my sources. It's about Bohemian Grove, because
he definitely has some good information here and there, and he definitely gets some good guests and whatnot. But yeah, it's just he's just pumping out a bunch of shit, and I just got kind of tired of it because I used to listen to it a lot, and then I'm just thinking, you know, he's the same bullshit as everybody else.
He's a fake ass bullshitter. And Rob, you gonna visit tomorrow? Have the podcast with? He's real. He been to the jungle. He even brought some souvenirs from the jungle, right? So yeah, all his podcasts are really raw. It's just unscripted, unedited. It's just we are having.
Feel when people get that big. Okay, so look at Joe Rogan. When you get that big, it's very hard to just stay authentic, because they become so famous, and it's the same, like I almost get, you know, sick and tired of some. I used to listen to Andy Frisella a lot too, but all I hear is just fucking commercial after commercial after commercial bullshit. Hey, you should take this fucking product and this and that. And I was like, you're just talking a bunch of bullshit right now. You really are. Or actually, I said I used to be a big fan of Andy Frisella, and he's supposed to be the owner of one of the biggest health companies on the planet. He's always fucking sick. Every time I listen to a podcast, it was, I've been sick again. I'm like, you're supposed to be like a face of fucking health. Get your shit together.
Exactly. And yeah, coming back to the book, the fifth chapter is about destroying the system because I have ideas on how to. People should read it because I had
Please share.
really deep discussions with AI about it. And one of the things was when you look at Zionists, and just to be clear, a Zionist is not a Jew, and a Jew is not always a Zionist.
Yes.
Because Judaism is a religion, Abrahamic religion.
Yes.
Zionism is a political movement from Israel, or at least the people that built Israel. The Zionists have been there for thousands of years, even in the Roman Empire. But Zionists, they control all the wires, right? They you know APEC, the Israel lobby club that goes to every country. They've been in the Netherlands lately. It's kind of like the World Economic Forum, but only pure Israel Zionist bullshit.
Yeah.
They control everything. Together with Mossad or whatever it's called, their intelligence agency. But those Zionists, they own stock on the stock market of Nike, Monster Energy, Red Bull, all those brands. So one thing to destroy them, stop eating McDonald's.
Yeah. Well,
Buy
all of this
everything
bullshit.
local.
All the energy
So
drinks.
from now on,
I mean, I said again, everyone has to do their part. But when I started working with the food technology early this year, I cut off most of my clients, and I even have a phone call with one of these companies because they put so much bullshit in their products. He didn't originally when I first started because I'm big on checking on stuff, and I muscle tested everything, and it seemed good. And then they started adding other ingredients because they made them more money. And I have a phone call recorded where I basically say I don't want to work with them anymore because they put all this nonsense, food dye and shit in their products. And he's just yelling at me for 45 minutes straight and saying, I only care about money. And I just said no to a pretty big paycheck from you because you have food dye in your products. Go fuck yourself, So yeah, everyone has to do their part. I said I did my part and I cut out very many $1,000s of work a month just because they put stuff in there. So everybody can at least stop fucking drinking dumb energy drinks and eat McDonald's. That's not too
exactly.
much to ask. I'm not
So
saying
yeah,
quit your fucking job.
a main thing for me about beating the system is don't work for a company you don't stand behind.
Nope.
Buy your stuff locally because we can vote one time in every 4 years, right? When it comes to politics. That's not voting. You know how we vote? With a wallet. Money talks, money speaks, money does move things literally.
Yeah.
So the moment we stop buying brands, don't buy Starbucks coffee. Even if you want coffee, go to a local diner and buy a cup of coffee there because one, it's way better coffee than Starbucks because Starbucks is total trash, and you don't support the Zionists.
And also,
You don't support.
what do you know about the Starbucks underground? Do you know about that?
Well, as long as it's connected to Zionists, there's a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah, there's as far as again, I have not seen these, but there's supposedly a bunch of Starbucks underground also.
Well, I did hear about Starbucks underground that are only for celebrities, and they got tunnels that they can drive their car in. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yes, that stuff is real.
Yes.
The elite, they got their own highways below our highways.
Yes, exactly.
And they got their own Starbucks and their own, yeah.
Yep.
And talking about McDonald's, did you read that news about the human DNA in the vegetarian McDonald's products?
That's been out. I mean, I think I first saw that video. I think it must be at least 2+ years ago. I found a video about this, and that thing was like taken down everywhere. But I have a friend who's my my most special news source I have that shares all of this content with me before it gets taken out. Think I downloaded the video to my phone. I am gonna dig it up and I'm gonna send it to you. But it's very, very, very old. And yes, they were talking about the DNA in the McDonald's, or the human DNA.
Well, it's now on. It has been on CBS News even. Mainstream media was even covering it. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's real. You can look it up. Google CBS News, McDonald's, human DNA.
Yep.
Bam, it's there.
Yes. And then we have our dear Trump and the team posting McDonald's like it's not a big deal.
Exactly. So yeah, that's the whole destroy the elite part of my book, and the last part is kind of a spiritual pathway, advice on how to write down a plan for yourself. You know, you don't have to have big plans. Some people want to start a company, but other people, like me, my plan was to do physical work with my body, to work outside, to work in nature. Well, I got it. This whole podcast thing that happened 3 months ago, and I started writing the book 2.5 months ago, and it's already done, but I only have to translate it. That all happened after and in between. You know, it's not the main thing I do. Normally, I'm the kind of guy who's I'm the type of person who loves to be alone. I need to be alone to recharge my battery, if you know what I mean. I love being social with people. I love being around people, but at the end of the day, I always need those hours alone.
Same. I'm the same.
I just want to be in my own temple, recharged. Yeah, you know what I mean. So doing podcast stuff like this, it's not something that I do naturally, if you know what I mean. But it just happened to be that I had information about certain things, experiences in certain things, and I just had to share it. So yeah, that's basically my book. It's 6 chapters. It's 400 pages around that, somewhere around that, and tons of resources, because like I said, resources are needed.
Yes. Let's get it on audiobook.
Yeah, I need someone.
I'll help you here. We'll figure it all out.
Well, like I said, I share the book for free. So if you have ways to publish it with audio, be my guest.
I'm just
the only thing I want
that
is
kind of stuff. I've never done it, but I just created an account to see how to actually upload books and stuff to Audible. So that's something. I have the window open here. I'm digging into it.
You know, I just want
wanting to put out some stuff too, like about biohacking and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, for me, the main goal about the book was my mind was really full, because I remember everything from age 2, and it kind of felt during the burnout that it was overloaded. So I had to put it down on paper, my thoughts, my knowledge, my everything. And eventually I was like, I need to share this stuff. I need to push it out no matter what. And yeah, most people write a book to make money or whatever. That's not me. It only cost me money eventually, because I built a website which costs money, and I don't do advertising on the web.
I believe when you do good things for the world, it will come back to you in a different way. And I've always had this thing that I told people. I said, I don't want to work for money. I want to work where it's needed, whether that is for money or not. And the money will always come to me in some way. That's how I see it. If I do good for the world, it will come back to me somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, my website, I chose not to have advertising on it. Why? Like I said, voting with your wallet. If I have a website like that, and you see an advertising for Nike shoes or for Red Bull or for whatever,
right?
Then I literally am a phony like Joe Rogan.
Yep.
Then I'm a fucking idiot. So sorry for my language, but people like that are fucking morons.
Yep, I totally agree. Okay, so so your list you sent me, there was a bunch of stuff about Disney here.
Yeah, I wanted to cover that, and after
Mhm.
that, I want to quickly cover two things about health, and then I got my dentist appointment, like I said.
Yes, and I got sleepy time. Not
Yeah,
yet. Not
exactly.
yet. I'm still good. It's
So
midnight.
yeah, Disney. The first link about Disney is Utrecht University. Utrecht is a city in the Netherlands.
Okay.
It is in Dutch, and it's an article about Adolf Hitler and Walt Disney. Because most people don't know, everybody sees Adolf Hitler as the evil personification of Satan, right? Hitler is the evil bastard, and Walt Disney is all about fairy tales and making children happy and stuff like that. He's the good guy, right? This article at Utrecht University covers that Adolf Hitler and Walt Disney admired each other, worshipped each other, and even were best friends. They collaborated together, both Adolf Hitler and Walt Disney. So they were actual friends. It's a shame it's in Dutch, but you see the word Adolf Hitler in.
I will put a link in the caption if somebody wants to translate it, they can. And then the only thing that is in English on the page just says "Make America Great Again."
Yeah. So yeah, Walt Disney. First of all, there's a lot of occult hidden messages in Walt Disney stuff.
Oh yes.
But Adolf Hitler was also an occultist. The swastika he used is a Hindu symbol. It comes from ancient India. He used the Maltese cross, which is from the Freemasons. He used, they got all those Freemason and occult symbols in Nazi Germany. So Adolf Hitler was an occult person, but Walt Disney was as well. Because I sent you a YouTube video, the last link, and that's from the movie Fantasia with Mickey Mouse, one of the first animated movies Walt Disney made. And this is a scene from it where the devil kind of arises. People are going to bed to sleep.
I'll do
the
this.
devil
I'm
kind
gonna
of
play
wake.
it without sound while we talk. Here we go.
So yeah, and this is a children's movie. The devil is coming from the mountain, waking up. People are going to sleep, and the devil is literally stealing their souls. You see the souls rising in skeleton forms, and he's eating them. Sell your soul. Hollywood is all about selling your soul, right?
Yes.
And this is a children's movie, but if you look at the images, this is pure satanic ritual what you're watching.
Yep.
You see it, right?
Yeah, I'm playing it on fast speed too, so souls are flying up here now.
And into his mouth. And then he is awaking the dead. Skeletons arise, and you see a skeleton on a horse, one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse. I mean, it's even biblical satanic stuff which he is showing there. If you see this, do you think this is for children?
No.
Or is this for maybe other individuals?
And I guess too, as a child, you're looking at this and not thinking like that. Or maybe you are actually, because children are very smart. So who knows? I can't really remember what I was thinking when I was a kid and watching these kind of things.
This is pure ritual, what you're seeing here.
Yep.
Nothing more, nothing less.
I mean, there's a lot in kids' movies in general. A lot of disturbing shit. I said I had a few years ago, I had this, like, you know, when you're like, oh, let's watch all these old movies that we used to do when we were kids, and you start watching these cartoons, you're like, what? No. No, I was like, is there anything that is watchable anymore? Because all you see now is just all of these hidden messages, right? Or they're not even hidden. But we didn't know back then, right?
In Disney, they used to be hidden.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, in cartoons, they are plain in the open.
Yep. They don't even care. They're just mocking us. That's what I feel.
So yeah, that's another scene from from the one of the Walt Disney movies.
Mm.
And I written down a few notes about stuff I want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one other thing before I go into the health thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's ancient languages like Latin and Sanskrit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I have been studying the Vedic scriptures like the Bhagavad Gita, the Mahabharata, many other type of scriptures. The Vedic scriptures, a lot of it is even science. A lot of it goes into like Ayurveda. You know that, right? The healthy food thing.
Absolutely.
You got
I
Vedic
have a
math.
Vedic restaurant here I go to for my vegan cheat meal.
Exactly, and you got Vedic math and Vedic science and whatever. So, but it's all written in Sanskrit.
Mm-hmm.
And the beautiful thing about Sanskrit, it's not a spoken language. It's a language people sing. So 10,000 years ago, people weren't talking to each other; they were singing with each other instead of talking.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that. And another ancient language that holds power, in my opinion, is Latin. You know, exorcisms and prayer.
Mm-hmm.
The highest form of prayer is always in Latin, never in English or Dutch or Swedish or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
A real priest reads the Bible in Latin and not in English.
Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering, how much do you believe in the power of using ancient languages during meditation or during ritual or whatever?
I believe it definitely plays a role. I can't say that I have. So I've been working with content and marketing for about 23 years, and I say I'm very selective these days. But I work with a friend of mine who is an Ayurveda teacher, basically. So I'm helping her with some of her content for her breath work and everything. And as you say, yes. So she's using a lot of ancient language. So absolutely, I do think so. I can't say that I truly understand it well enough, and I do meditations myself. Sometimes I do meditations I find online, and I can't say that I truly know how to say the things. So I would actually, that's a goal for myself to learn a little bit more about that, because sometimes I'll hear something and I don't know if I'm even saying it properly. But I do think it plays a role. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I myself, you know, ISKCON, the Hare Krishna movement.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They are basically a movement that spread Vedic scriptures
Mm-hmm.
and also have food for life projects. So they cook food and give away food for free to the poor in every country and stuff like that. They do a lot of good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But their main goal, what they do is they translate Vedic scripture from Sanskrit into any other language.
Mm-hmm.
And they teach you how to do mantras and chanting and meditation and stuff like that. So, yeah, they are really special people. And when we talked earlier about famous people, a lot of famous people donate temples for them, for the Hare Krishna.
Temples?
For example, George Harrison from the Beatles, he bought a lot of temples for them. Henry Ford from the Ford cars, he also paid for a lot of temples. So a lot of famous people, famous or rich people, but the good ones, they support this organization. So that's also really special. They want the organization to keep translating and spreading knowledge and spreading, the good stuff. So even in the elite people, I mean, owning Ford vehicles makes you kind of an elite person, right? But even in those families, there are good people. So yeah, I mean, exposing Hollywood is a good thing. Exposing Diddy, Epstein, Bill Gates, all the motherfuckers that are out there. But never forget, not everybody in Hollywood is evil.
Of course, yes.
I mean,
don't you think this so the people that are truly good, do you actually think they are gonna last or stick around there? Because I have friends who've been on the inside, and the ones I know, they're not there anymore.
well, what I think will happen is sometimes you see certain people in certain families just taking distance from the family, doing their own thing.
Exactly. Because again, just like we said before, I feel like if you don't do anything, you're kind of a part of the problem. So if you are a part of this and you truly think it's wrong, you have a responsibility to do something, even if that is your freaking family.
Well, in the past, and that's 600 years before Christ, you had Buddha, where Buddhism came from. And Buddha, he was a prince, he was an elite person. He was extremely rich, he had everything material he would like to have, but he wasn't happy. And he noticed that there were people suffering. Well, he was partying and having hookers and whatever, like any elitist motherfucker is doing. He noticed that there are people who are suffering. And he was started to ask questions. And he moved away from his family, gave up being an elite person to become a monk. And eventually became the Buddha we all know right now. So I think in all times, even 600 before Christ, even 10,000 years ago, maybe even a million years ago, even a million years from now, there will be elitists, maybe even reptilians that just say, fuck this bullshit.
Yeah. Well, that's actually what they said. So the live I did last week, we played this demon interview, and for my Instagram, I was only cutting out little pieces. But if somebody actually goes and listens to the entire thing, they're actually talking about this, that a lot of these reptilians, the ones that are considered the bad ones, they basically stepped away from the bigger part of the reptilians, and they're asking, why is that so? Because they went to the light, they said. They didn't want to do that anymore. So the ones that wanted to keep doing harm and freaking eating kids and shit, they separated themselves because the majority still did not want to do that.
Yeah, but the same happens with famous people. When you are an actor or like your friend King Bao, you're in the UFC and all of a sudden you speak out against elite. All of a sudden, all the sponsors go away. All the power you have, it just goes away because you are not part of their narrative anymore. You don't speak their words out of your mouth. When it comes to selling your soul, I don't believe that you can sell your soul as in they own it. That's impossible. However, they can put you in a situation, force you into a situation where you say, I do everything for you. Because you pay me to. And it's like you said, with that sponsor deal you had, with the product that changed into a chemical product. At that moment, they owned a part of your soul, and you had a phone call and you said, fuck this shit. Because I don't stand behind the product anymore, because you changed the recipe. So that's also soul selling. You sell little pieces of yourself. It's the soul. It's not like something like this necklace you can hold, and here's a soul, and it's mine now. No, it's your face, it's your voice, it's your personality, it's your being. It's little pieces of yourself you give away. When you are, for example, in a toxic relationship and you just take it and take it and take it, you also give away your soul. You also sell yourself to that person. I mean, everybody has had toxic relationships in their life. Everybody. I don't believe in people that never had a toxic relationship. That's impossible. Why? Because we all need to meet those toxic people to learn. I don't want this anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, that to me is soul selling. But the moment transhumanism is at full peak, and they trap us in our body, well then soul selling will become something totally different.
It's a completely different story. It's true.
Then it will be scary.
I also have had this conversation with many people, but you don't really know how people get into a situation, because I've heard a lot of things from the inside of Hollywood, for example, how they basically find people, drug them, take very inappropriate content of them, and then kind of like, hey, here's the deal. If you don't do what we say, we got this on you. So, or you don't know, do they threaten them? Do they say, oh, we're going to freaking kill your kids? Who knows? Who knows? But also, even if that is the scenario, like, everyone still has to have some sort of responsibility. And I mean, if somebody came to you and did that to you, what would you do in their position? Maybe you would do the same as them. You don't fucking know that, but
exactly,
we can't allow it either. Like, somehow, and I feel like because of how things work right now, let's say that happened to you and they have some inappropriate content of you with whatever. At this point today, I feel like you could say, hey, I'm going to speak out anyway, and they may have something on me, but I didn't fucking, like, I was not a part of that. I feel like we're at a point where you could actually say that now. And if you spoke up and said, hey, there is this footage or video, whatever, of me, and you say, I was forced into this, or I was dragged into this, a lot of people would probably accept that answer and listen to that.
exactly. They control you through either greed, money, or fear.
Yes.
Either one of those. But do you want to know what the most beautiful thing is? We had this conversation, you and I, on Instagram, about being your real self and not caring about what other people think.
Yes.
If in the past you did something that isn't okay, or maybe there is certain material of you completely naked or whatever, so be it. You know the story behind why you did it, why it happened.
Yes.
For example, people that worked in the porn industry got out of it, became Christians or whatever they wanted to become, or spiritual, and said, well, I did it back then, but I wouldn't do it now.
Yeah.
The material is there, but
yeah,
nobody can destroy them anymore using that material, because everybody already knows. So
yeah. Well, what I was referring to was more, maybe, as far as I've heard, what they do to people is basically take them, drug them, and do content with children.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and
again, like, if it's ever going to stop, people have to speak up about it. And if you are genuinely truthful, then it's never going to stop if people don't say something. So if that's the case, then somebody's going to fucking have to say, oh, shit, they did this on me, but, like, I was drugged or whatever. There's got to be a way to prove it then.
Well, a beautiful
don't play
example
along
is,
with it, because then you just dig your fucking grave deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and then you're never gonna get out of it. And then eventually you're gonna look like an asshole, because now you fucking are.
Exactly, but the beautiful example of redemption is Edward Snowden. He worked for the NSA. He built a tool that could tap every wire, listen into every conversation, and spy on everyone. He built it. But he also was a whistleblower after he found out what the elite were doing with it. So he's the creator of an evil tool. He did something evil, but because he became a whistleblower, went to Russia to get immunity from America. Everybody forgave him for what he created, right? So, yeah. It's not about what you did, it's about what you do, right? We don't live 1,000 years ago. We don't live yesterday. We live now, here, this moment, this conversation we are having right here. So, yeah, maybe you did something, maybe you didn't do something. Be open about it. Just show who you really are. And maybe a lot of people, a lot of followers, a lot of friends will leave you.
And that's fine.
But
Clean
you want
up
to know
the
what?
trash.
Then they weren't real friends anyways.
Exactly.
A real friend would always stick to you,
Yep.
even in your darkest hour. And you want to know what? When talking about Rob, that you're gonna have the podcast with, I met him during a dark period. So then you know that's a real friend. He wants to help me during a dark time and not during my prime time, you know? So yeah, and I met a lot of other awesome people. Ben, you also had a podcast with Ben, also an amazing person.
Yeah, we need to get all of us together. We actually have, so my Rumble comments are not coming into the eCam, but we got King Bao, Disorganized, Shane, everyone is on the Rumble commenting. I see you all guys, you're just not popping up in the streaming service, but they're all on here.
Shane,
shouting
the
and saying you are
the snake
displaying
turban
the
head.
narrative of podcasting.
You mean Shane the designer, the snake turban head?
Yep.
Yeah, he's a really good friend of mine. I love that guy. He's
We need to get all of us together in one place sometime. I'm gonna go visit Benjamin soon and try his
awesome.
spinning meditation device. I'm very pumped.
You know, the fact we all know the same people, right?
Well, yeah, this is all new. So again, I manifest people to come to me. Plop, then I had Benjamin in my. Somehow we connected on his. I don't even know. I just ask for people, and every day somebody gets shown to me. I have met so many interesting people this year, and I've made this a routine. I said in the past I used to be that person who would try to go out and chase what I need to find, or chase work, or chase, but like trying so hard to find things. All I do now is to say, universe, God, just bring me what I need to see, bring me who I need to speak to, and every day it just happens. I don't even have to try, it just comes. So that's how I've met everybody, basically. That's how I found, like I was asking for my purpose in life, and suddenly one day I saw King Bao's podcast on Alex Jones where he said he was going to eradicate childhood malnutrition. I've never seen his content. He's banned. I knew who he was, but I've never seen his content. And then why did that interview show up in front of my face that one day? Because I watched it and I had goosebumps, and suddenly I knew this is my purpose in life. It's like, so it's everybody I know these days has all come to me like this.
So yeah, we need to get together. I know Shane the designer, he's really good at, he knows a lot of people in a lot of parts of the world, in a lot of industries.
I'm in a group text with him and Benjamin, actually.
Yeah, and Shane, yeah, he's the greatest guy I know when it comes to putting people and things together and creating stuff. He's a creator and a connector. He's amazing dude, really amazing. Wonderful. But so are all the other people I am meeting lately. It's like the last 3 months I am starting to live, while before that I was mostly asleep, if you know what I mean. I was awake, I knew things, but I wasn't living life. So yeah, it's good that I'm meeting people that are also living the life that we all should live eventually. Fuck the elite, fuck the cults, fuck everything.
Yep.
And just dare to be yourself, no matter what you did, no matter where you come from. I mean, even if Bill Gates says a real, true, honestly sorry and gives away all its money and becomes a normal person, I would even accept him in my group, Just
If somebody
it
has
would be
done a
hard, but
lot of harm, it takes a lot of work for them to come back to it. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but a person that has done that much damage has a lot of making up to do, and I don't think he has enough
yeah.
life left.
No, he's a ticket to hell is very close. But looking at the time, I quickly want to discuss two
Yes.
books.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of them you already talked about. It's How Not to
Yes,
Die,
I have that one.
and this is about written by a doctor, a real doctor, and his mother was really sick. They got medicine, and she got sicker and sicker and sicker, all the way to you are going to die. Then there was a doctor in their house, and the doctor said, "Stop the medicine and only eat plant-based food, fresh plant-based, not the
Very
the
important
the
to
process."
side note to everybody. If you're a vegan or vegetarian, don't go buy this fucking vegan bullshit cheese and meat and whatever the hell they have in the grocery store. Just don't do that, because I know so many sick people that are vegans, and for some time people thought I had this problem with vegan people because I was posting so much about meat. I love vegan food. I truly love vegan food, but it has to be real. And I go to this Ayurvedic restaurant here every week. It's my favorite thing. But you cannot go to the grocery store and buy vegan meals and think you're eating food.
Yeah, and this book, he also has a cookbook where you can learn the vegan recipes. And here it says, discover the foods scientifically proven to prevent and reverse disease. Even reverse, even if you got diabetes, even if you got certain types of cancer, you can reverse it. It's never too late.
There are
Well,
different
sometimes.
ways. So I've helped a handful of people that had cancer. And let's just say that everyone is different. But I had one man whom he was given about 14 days to live. And in 9 weeks, it was like nothing ever happened. And I had him on strict carnivore diet. So there are definitely different ways to do this, different approaches. I know people that do the exact same thing as I did with vegan diet as I did with carnivores. So I do believe there are different routes to it. And we actually had don't know, when this is going to happen, why we had this idea, basically, that we were going to show how we help the same kind of person with meat and without it, and show that there is no thing that I don't understand this whole like war between carnivore and vegan people. This is just a bunch of bullshit. Like, you can achieve so many things with either one of them. You just need to
Exactly.
come down to fucking cut out all the bullshit and chemicals and start eating real food. That should be like the priority, not trying to fight each other. Meat is the thing, no vegetables. It's like,
Exactly, everybody is different, and that is why I say this book is for the vegan vegetarian pathway, and
yes,
it's a good pathway. I know a guy who is doing it. He's a professor at the university. He does this diet, and he's a bodybuilder, and he looks really ripped.
yes.
Only out of eating plant foods, and he's never sick. Another book, I got chronic inflammation in my guts. I had it a couple of years ago, and a Muslim friend of mine, he said, and the doctors wanted to give me prednisone. Prednisone, don't know what it's called in America, but it's the anti-inflammatory, really shitty medicine. So,
All
so I
natural
was like,
anti-inflammatory.
So I was like, I don't want to take that bullshit because first of all, you get a really swollen head if you take it. You become a balloon head.
Yep.
It's funny if you like Mr. Mackey from South Park, you get a really swollen head and you can say okay all the day. But I didn't want to be like that, so my friend he gave me this book. Never be sick again.
Uh-huh.
Health is a choice.
Yes.
Written by an actual this guy. I'm gonna tell the story behind this as well. He was working for the pharmaceutical industry.
Yes.
Until he got sick.
Yep.
And the big pharma guys were like, we are going to cure you. Here are our medicines. And he got from sick to sicker to almost dying.
Yes.
Then he
There are a
did
lot of
his own
stories like
research.
that of holistic people that originally worked as regular doctors or for the pharmaceutical industries, and then the day they get sick, they realize that everything they do is fucking bullshit.
This guy got cured by alternative medicine. Completely cured. And after that, he was fighting the company that paid him all his life.
Yep. All
He
the
was like,
props to
fuck
him.
you.
We have the same. Our scientist, Dr. Santiago Rodriguez, about 30 years ago, tried to get this approved as a medication and did the LD50 application. So he worked within the system as well. And they basically just completely rejected him. So yeah, that's a similar story there.
So yeah, awesome stuff. I am afraid I have to go in a minute or
We're
so.
gonna go sleep. This was great, but we'll do a volume 2 of this later on.
I would love to. Would love to stay in touch with you, and of course all the other people I am already in touch with Shane the designer, with Rob, with yeah. I hope something beautiful comes out of all of this. I mean, we are all doing our part. I'm writing a book. You are doing this. Shane is doing his stuff, and eventually, we should take over this world. Fuck the aliens.
We are already. I speak like this. This is how I've been doing it for several years. You saw. I hope something beautiful comes out of this. Something beautiful already came out of this. That's how I like to speak. And we did already take over the world. It's already happened. Oh, I was actually going to ask you before. Do you astral project? Do you know how to do it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you know how to?
I learned astral projection in a Roman Catholic church at age 12, because the priest we had, he was also a Buddhist and he was into the Vedic scriptures. And when I left the church, because I was angry at everything the Roman Catholic Church does, steal money from the poor and killing children and raping children, he was like, I totally understand why you do this. He said, I'm a Christian, but I'm not anymore the Roman Catholic Christian. And he said, well, I walk paths of Buddhism as well, and he taught me everything. He was what a real priest should be like, an example, a mentor. So yeah, I did astral travel. I flew around the room, and it was amazing. And he guided me through it.
I love it. Well, I'm in training right now.
But the vampires are using it as well. So they use it to communicate with demons and whatever.
Oh yes.
And for sexual stuff, they do a lot of sexual stuff in there, in the other world, and in the physical as well. So yeah, if you go traveling,
guys, if you have any strange, weird sexual dreams, it wasn't a dream; they were actually there in your mind.
Exactly. But yeah, it was amazing being here.
Thank you so much for being here, and I'm gonna add all the links in the comments, and also send me whatever information you want, like your website, anything you want me to put in the caption for people to find you, and I will keep them posted on your book.
Yeah, I go to the dentist. I go to the dentist first, and after I get home, I send all the books.
Perfect.
And my website. And my own book I already sent to you, but I need to fine tune it, and then I send the real version. So I will do all that. That's
perfect.
I'll do that.
Well, I hope you have a good dentist appointment, and I will talk to you soon.
Thank you for everything, for your time and for this amazing conversation.
Thank you so much.
And you
was
are
an honor
awesome.
to have you here.
You're awesome and badass. So thank you for fighting the good fight, which we all should.
Thank you. We have just started.
Have a great night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, guys. We've been on for 3 hours, 40 minutes. Crazy. So, because I'm about to go sleep, but before I do that, you guys should absolutely go watch. This is my live from last week.
How much of the US government is human?
You guys
20%.
We speak to one of the
this.
demonic apparatchiks
So they
that
basically
is
do
part of the
exorcisms
child
and
trafficking
talk to
networks. It's
Minas
really,
and
really
these
rare to
demons
find
expose
this
people
this
a
kind of
lot.
data. What's your job? What do you do for this?
Collect the luge from the little.
So they have a lot of. No. Damn it. Why can I not? I can't figure out this scene thing. I'll figure it out soon. Wait a second. Okay, clearly I can't get my shit together here. Here we go. There we go. Okay, so go watch that. It's on my Rumble. All my replays are on my Rumble. You guys can go watch them. That one was real good, and this one was freaking great too. And then I just want to end today with my little video about the incredible stories of people changing their life on our food technology.
How long am I gonna be able to keep doing my job? It's scary, man. Like your hands start locking up out of nowhere. I'm like, fuck. After I started taking it, like my hands aren't cramping up. Like shoulders, I was like, what the fuck? Like they're not clacking.
I've been taking allergy medicine for almost 11 years. And now I am 9 days today. I have not choked in my sleep. I have not taken any allergy medicine.
You have what we call COVID asthma, COVID pneumonia, scarring on your lungs from COVID. After taking the Acemannan, I haven't hit an inhaler in like 8 days. I can breathe. It's crazy. So I also haven't been able to smell for 2 years. The other day, I get my sense of smell back, so I can smell again.
I was going to commit suicide. I was drinking and smoking myself to sleep every night, being sorry for myself, saying, poor me, I was supposed to be a national champion. Now I'm never going to be able to be an athlete again. Within 2.5 weeks, I was medically cleared to wrestle after taking the Betalains product, the anti-inflammatory.
Let the praises come. Let the blessings rain on down. Let the praises come.
So, why doesn't that want to work? Oh my god. It's just not want to work. I don't know why. Okay, whatever. I'll get my shit together at some point. It's too late for this. Well, this is why we do everything we do. It's for the kids. For the kids. And make sure you go grab the brand new core product. This one basically has a combination between Acemannan and Betalains and collagen and fiber and prebiotics and other good stuff. So Acemannan and Betalains rebuild your immune system, reduce inflammation by 47%, pump your body full of stem cells, and what happens then? Well, your body starts to be able to do what it's supposed to do, which means it can heal itself, and you DH. And who doesn't want that? And I have to end. I don't know if this one fits right now, but I made sounds and they're funny.
This is some bullshit.
That's actually my voice. Okay, guys. Well, thank you for watching, and I'll drop all the links in the comments tomorrow after I sleep. All the information will be in there, and I will be making some shorter clips for the Instagram. So I'll see you guys soon. Love you all.